Howdy, folks. Welcome to Adventures in Alberon, Courts of Everest, our original D&D campaign. I am Joe Treff, your DM this evening, and joining me are my friends Matt, Vincent, Tina, Cara, and Alana. We are missing Hannah this evening, who has a headache and is out for this evening, but will be rejoining us in the future. Not next week, because for the next 2 weeks, we will be off for summer break. Normally, when I talk to the camera, I'm staring straight at myself, but there is just a green dragon.
Spoilers, guys.
Yeah, we pull up this battle camera. I don't know if it comes up on the camera. It's just off the camera.
Right here.
But yeah, he's
hidden
he's a girthy boy.
You'll see him later.
The tree line obscures him.
Or if you're very lucky, you won't.
That would be cool.
Yeah. So, we're going to play D&D. Before we do, a couple of quick announcements. First of all, what you just saw on your screen is our table. You can see some little encounter maps and things like that. There are miniatures. There are handouts.
There's some product placement.
There is. That is also true. Oh, look at that. Not a sponsor. But could be.
One day.
All of that, you can see more pictures of those things in a little bit greater detail at AlberonRPG on YouTube, Instagram, Threads, and Blue Sky. We also have a Patreon. You can subscribe to Patreon. I think it's like $11 a month. And with that, you get behind-the-scenes footage. You get interviews after sessions. There is also Alberon After Dark, a different
content that's up there.
Indeed. We also get the password to our OnlyFans.
There's so much stuff that is on that entire
cup
thing.
of coffee.
You get to meet Toki, the
cryptid.
Get to see my nipples.
Also,
for a cup of coffee.
I would say actually there's a series of pictures where you don't see your nipples, where I feel like you see your nipples more somehow.
Oh, it's because the pasties.
Yeah. Anyways, all of that, Alberon After Dark, over on our Patreon, AlberonRPG. There is a tremendous amount of content, including After Dark, a series of one-shots that are a little bit rowdier than usual. Typically, they involve a lot more drinking as well.
And nudity.
All at AlberonRPG on Patreon.
Tasteful.
We had Starfinder last night, and we do every Thursday night at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Tasteful.
When we come back from our 2-week summer break starting next week, on August 24th, we will be having Mapleberry Manor and Into the Odd one-shot that is run by Cara. This is going to be a unique take on a haunted mansion that we're all very excited to engage with. On September 6th, we are going to have a Lancer one-shot that I am going to be running. I know Vincent, Alana, Matt, and Cara, I think, are the players for that. And that is using a mech-based system called Lancer.
This one got canceled.
Yeah, the Triangle Agency one did. Well, it got delayed. It will happen at some point.
Trying to find friends to join us to make it happen.
Yes, yeah. If you live in the Massachusetts area and you want to be a part of the Triangle Agency and you do not know what that is, that's an important part of the mission.
Don't read the book.
Then you can join. We are then on September 20th going to be having a one-shot run by Olive for her birthday. She has not decided on a system or what that is, except for requesting chaos. And
it
so that
literally got posted today.
Yeah, that would be very interesting. On the 21st, the day after that, there will be Wheel of the Year. Oh, no.
Oh, no. Is this the one you've been dreading?
No. Wheel of the Year.
That was mine, and it's been postponed.
It's been postponed. Okay. So I'm not going to even try to say the name. It's just I feel like I can't say it correctly. Every time I get to reading of it's Tina's series that is run off of and themed after the Pagan High Holidays. All of the names sound they read easy until you try to say them, and then they come out terrible. So you can go see the ones that are
postponed. So hold off.
Yes, but you can see the ones that are up currently on YouTube. On September 27th, we are going to be having Alberon After Dark in the Sleeper Till Sunrise, a Fallout 2D20 After Dark adventure where the only healing can occur through drinking. And that is going to be September 27th. October 4th, The Crit will be a 5th edition D&D one-shot that I will be running. It is based off of The Pit, a somewhat successful show, I'm told. I have never seen it, but I wrote an entire one-shot based off of the premise of it, or at least what I have been told the premise is. I'm actually extremely excited for this one-shot. It will have some elements of Tanakh brought into it. We will be back in Sarentil, the setting, or sort of adjacent to the setting of our first campaign. That is going to be October 4th. After that, there will be a brief pause in production. We are off from October 9th till roughly October 24th when we return with Starfinder. There will be some Humblewood games that will happen in that time, as I'm going to be getting married, and so we'll be unable to run games. After that, we will be back with regular production, with the regular games likely taking us through the new year, both of them, even Starfinder. And we're also going to be playing Feast of the Noble Vale, our annual cooking competition in November, and a special presentation of A Christmas Carol in a one-shot format in December, which I'm very excited to run. We also have Monument Studios Music and Sirenscape to thank for the various music and sound effects that you hear behind you. And with that, that is all of the many announcements that I have for this week, and it is time for Courts of Everest. And to Cara with the recap.
Wandering Heights. When last we played, we were being not bombarded, but run down by a herd of fleeing animals. And as we prepared to face the threat, while in cloud form, we got ourselves hidden in a wide open space and prepared to become corporeal. We all did fairly well with the hiding bit, except for, of course, Minka, who, as always, shines bright. Finding herself the target now of a hunt, shall we say, as a dragonborn riding astride a giant salamander rode down upon her and unleashed devastating blows while the rest of us helplessly stood there, unmoving, because indeed, when you are shifting from cloud form, you can't suddenly decide not to, and you can't change positions, except maybe to dance like a crab.
Very important.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important and canon.
Mm-hmm.
After we all shifted out, however, we were able to gain the upper hand on the battle through various means, including violence and magic, as Billy used some abilities to, maybe unwisely so, charm the hunter and create a new friend to maybe just take a minute and breathe, and thankfully stop him from further murdering Minka, the target of his hunt. So apparently he made friends with Billy, but not the rest of us. Anyway, as Billy thought she was being sneaky, just speaking in common because he had just been shouting in Draconic, turns out no, he's a polyglot like most of us, and totally understood what she was saying. And gave us some helpful information, whether he realized it or not. The existence of multiple camps belonging to Glacial Duneth, the Black Dragon up into the north, which resides in the volcano north of the Charred Forest. He also displayed his map and gave us some helpful location information, and advised us to stay far away from the hags, as, while they are treacherous and dangerous, they are in league with the dragons, and displeasing them would be ill-advised. Further ill-advised was apparently letting him get away, as the entire group was very upset about that. Some people were fine.
It's mostly Ori.
That's the face. There it is. That one. But
Ori yearns for blood.
thankfully, Billy has a memory sometimes, and is able to recall the map and some of its details, and with further magical assistance from Minka, who communed with nature to provide further details, we had a fairly good replica. Discovering the many, many dangers in this part of Everest. Things like undead under the command of a greater undead, which is holding a fire elemental and creating chaos in the Charred Forest, thus giving its name as well. Many camps of wandering dragonborn and goblins in between us and the shore. A dragon's den built into the volcano with various tunnels and entrances and lava tubes. And also a forest full of Wendigo, but also my aunties. It's fine. Anyway, we continued along on our path, walking this time, in corporeal form, so as not to be caught unawares, and also not to draw attention in our carriage despite it being faster. Making our way along, deciding to come to an agreement on which path we should take when we got closer along. And indeed, we did get farther in thanks to the help of Alina's wayfinding leaf, as it showed us safe yet hidden from those who would harm us paths through the Charred Forest and around the undead and fire elementals. But we were not out of the woods yet, and as the hours grew late, we found ourselves needing to take a rest, and Ori and Minka stepped off the path to find a safe divot in the ground in which to rest. Thinking better of the idea of building stone walls around the camp, most of the party set off for a rest, while Ori and Billy took first watch. Before any awkwardness could ensue, however, as of course Billy and Ori are on the best of terms, embers were noticed amongst the sleeping party, and narrowly we evaded being cooked in an oven because thankfully both Minka did not build a wall, and we woke up without needing to touch the embers, which turned out to be fire will-o-wisps, which apparently when touched or disturbed in any way, explode! Bomb-bombs. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they can possess you.
Mm-hmm. And make you explode more.
Mm-hmm.
Hey!
It's great.
Thankfully, we just decided to sleep back on the path we were on, which was apparently safe and hidden from those who would harm us. Billy and Ori had a conversation where Billy said some things and Ori said even less things. And Ori said very few words.
I don't know. I feel like Ori said a lot more of substance, if we're being honest here.
Conversation was had.
If you could call it that.
What passes for conversation was
Hey, Billy was raised by hags in a swamp.
Who left that conversation needing to think about stuff more? Yeah.
We're fine.
He was fine, guys.
And as the other watches progressed, dragons were seen circling overhead in the skies, eyes tracing across the ground looking for intruders. And as dawn breaks, we hear wings beating, and the sound of further danger approaches. Ori and Billy are going to have a discussion. That's the danger.
Right now.
That's the danger.
Just 1 minute to change the
Well,
music.
it's not necessarily a danger. What's the leaf doing? What'd that leaf do, though?
Alina's asleep with
But
a
the-
toffee apple.
Is the leaf sleeping?
The
Yep.
leaf is not sleeping.
Yeah.
So the leaf is floating on the edge of your camp. But in this moment, overhead, a shadow begins to close in on you. It is the morning, and it ripples across the treetops, leaving a very distinct mark as it passes. You can see overhead there is a vast, sinuous, unnaturally graceful creature for how large it is. It glides almost silently through this almost just post-dawn sky. The wings are stretched wide like sails of verdant mist. You can see the scales. They shimmer with this iridescence that is unlike other dragons that you may have heard about. You've seen a few depictions now of these creatures, and you've never seen one that looks quite like this. You can see they shift hues subtly, unnervingly, almost like wet leaves that are being glimpsed through warped glass. The frame of this body is long and slender, and though you may be able to see it on this encounter map, although they're just off, This individual is a lot more sinuous than the one that is depicted here. Oh, lovely. Thank you, Vincent. As he nears, you can see the eyes, luminescent orbs of this almost chartreuse fire, scans the forest below with a calculating determination, and they may not be searching for you in particular, but they're searching for something. Is there anything that you are all doing? You have a brief moment to react to this.
Fucking hide.
Just enough to worry about hiding.
Looking for the leaf and hiding in the direction of the leaf.
Okay, so stealth checks for the three of you.
I'm gonna
Valis,
cast
Minka?
Pass Without a Trace.
Okay, you cast Pass Without a Trace. What is the casting time on that?
1 action.
1 action, okay. So add 10 to your stealth check.
Thank God. Where were you yesterday?
Oh, yeah.
And then Minka, I would say you can make a stealth check at disadvantage if you want. Taking some of the time to cast. Yeah, I mean, if you want to just stand there, you can.
I will attempt to hide.
Yeah.
Whether or not I'll be successful at hiding, maybe I'll just be, once again, the lone visible person.
Valis, is there anything that you're doing?
Is there plant life around us?
Is there what?
Plant life around us?
Right on that battlefield, you can see there is some dead and dried grass, but that's about it.
Can I use my eye for detail bonus action to see if he's looking for something? Is there, I'm looking for hidden things that he might be searching for instead of us.
As a bonus action, yeah, sure. Go ahead and make a perception check.
Stealth check. Highest I could possibly get, 43.
Wow.
I'll just
Very
hide.
good.
32.
32. Okay, Valis, make a stealth check. Minka?
17.
17.
That's with the plus 10.
Damn, with the plus 10?
But hey,
That's
at
okay.
disadvantage.
Yeah,
So this is
that's-
good. This is good.
22. How did I beat you? I'm like loud and clanky.
I was not. I
I was,
was paying
30
attention
for
to
the
my
stealth.
hands.
Ah,
for the
right.
stealth.
You're
And
Cast.
for the perception,
since everything is dead. I thought about casting plant growth, but I feel like because
28.
everything's dead, that would just be more
28.
conspicuous.
28, Ori, as everybody hides, you watch, and to your dismay, you see Valis and Minka stand out pretty sorely. It would be hard
With
to miss them
22?
in this moment. Oh, you had a 22, sorry. I heard 2. I just got to assume. You can actually, with your perception check, you can see Valis. You can also see Minka, and you imagine most people can see Minka. In this moment as well, you scan this area looking for other hidden creatures. You see the leaf. You see elements of broken sort of basalt. But aside from that, you don't see anything hiding here. And you remember you had heard a commotion the previous night back the way that you had come from. And while you might not distinctly be known as being here, or maybe they are not distinctly following you, they are likely looking for the evidence that you are leaving in your wake. This creature, just a little bit closer, and in an instant, they are over top all of you, and then straight by as they roll a 15 on their perception check.
There's like a audible sigh from the leaf as it Billy's just like.
And then there is just
One
this
hide and seek.
again, and they are already 80 feet away, 160 feet away. They just tear across the sky. All around you, the forest kind of with this wind, and as it does, you can see in places the trees kind of begin to melt. You can see almost these branches begin to crack and drift, and the bark peels like skin away from the trees in the wake of this beast. Around you, the grass begins to recede, almost like hair dying in a scalp, and the ground becomes muddy in an instant beneath you.
So, rot in its wake?
Ori, with your perception check, you are looking at illusion. And in this creature's wake, it leaves a wake of illusion so powerful it changes the landscape, or at least appears to. And as you see through this, you suddenly can see the grass, the basalt, everything as it was before. But you can see for many others, it is a disjointed sort of experience as the landscape melts around you.
We need to be very careful.
Do we all see through the illusion, or just Ori?
Just Ori. And if anybody wants to make a perception check, you can attempt to sort of decipher what is happening.
Wait,
I will be like,
why is the ground muddy now?
It's an illusion.
Valis, make
Something.
an insight check.
Make an
At
arcana
or.
check?
Make an Arcana check, you said?
Yeah.
It would be a much higher DC.
Okay.
Some
22
sort of
perception.
magic.
4.
And it's 22 perception.
With a 22 perception, Cheshire and Billy, Cheshire, you being used to seeing things that are not necessarily there for everybody else, though not necessarily not there. Billy, you being used to illusion in a more direct way, can just barely see through this, passing that check perhaps by 1. You can see this illusion and then blinking, kind of squinting and tilting your head out of the periphery of your vision. You can see what is real, but this is potent, this magic, and it just follows in this creature's wake. This is not an active effect that it needs to cast. This is what happens to reality around it.
So if you just like close your left eye and make this kind of face, you can see through it.
That's the trick. Billy, you hacked it.
My 4 on insight. What does that tell me?
It tells you that the forest is corrupt. For you, Valis, you are distinctly aware of the fact that there is this undead entity that lurks in the Charred Forest that you are now standing on the edge of. As you are beginning to peel away and head towards the beach, following this leaf, you are moving ever further away from this corrupting influence. Aron, the sort of destroyer of all life and the cycles in this forest. And perhaps that's why this is happening. That's why the forest
I
is
don't think
dying
so.
and
I
melting
think it's-
around you.
The forest seems corrupt. Are you sure that we don't have time to deal with the undead menace?
Valis.
Gotta go.
You're not? Oh.
So like just put your hand like this, and Billy like takes Valis's hand and puts it down, and then now close your eyes.
Make a perception check. Make a perception check at advantage as Billy just shoves your hand in there.
I told you it's an
I
illusion.
fail. 22.
With a 22, even as you touch it, your brain makes you feel what is not there. This illusion is more than a minor illusion. This is much more visceral. But you can tell that it's not real. And just like that, you stop feeling it quite so substantially.
Oh. Guess you're right.
We need to move quickly.
We should go.
You start walking towards the leaf.
Following the leaf, yeah.
As they walk along, Billy like just kind of comes up to Valis. If everyone else is telling you it's illusion, touch it, and then so you can tell if they're crazy or if you're crazy.
What if I experience an illusion where it's telling me that everyone is telling me that it's an illusion?
Touch.
Don't.
I touch Billy.
No.
See, I'm here. It works.
You touch Billy, but with that insight check of 4, you've touched mimics before. You've touched animated objects before. There are all kinds of things this could be. But you'll let this slide for the moment. Ahead of you, there is scorched undergrowth. You can see places where bushes and vines once hung, now just charred husks, still smoldering ever so slightly, though the woodlands are dying away. The basalt now kind of retaking the place as you are now tracking back and towards the beach. And you can see just beyond where the tree line gives away to just rock, the soil begins to shift a little bit more towards sand as well. But you walk. Who is leading this
The leaves.
expedition?
I guess I would
Surely,
probably
technically, I
go.
think it's Alina. 'cause-
I think, yeah, I was following
people
behind.
following
Alina,
that's
but
I would-
mechanically Ori,
follow.
most
Yeah, I would
likely.
follow.
Tori, make a perception check.
Probably bring up the rear.
That's
Billy is
not a
whispering
good
about
one.
the mechanics of illusion magic to Valis.
Can I stop for a moment to get a better look?
What was your perception check? You can
Oh,
potentially-
actually, no. I have reliable talent. It's 23.
23.
23 is fine.
Fantastic.
Reliable talent.
It's
So you
very
don't
nice.
embarrass
It's
yourself.
Plus, my passive's like 28.
As you walk into this space, through the scorched undergrowth, a place that at one point was a very nice woodlands, now just kind of ash and char, you can see places where there is a almost hollowness to the space around the trees and the ground that you can see, almost like pits that are dug, but as you get closer, it's not quite like that. Here and there, you do see pits that smolder and are burning, almost like perhaps there is a fire happening underground.
I would stop us for a second because I distinctly remember the last time we were in a haunted woods of sorts. There were underdark trees that tried to trap us while we were sleeping by caving in the ground, and this seems like some potential variation of.
5 days ago?
Yeah, it was not very long ago. And also, if it does seem hollow, it kind of tracks with that, and also the things that are around here being able to burrow and create like lava tubes and stuff.
So Ori stops.
Be like,
Why did we stop?
the ground gets hollow. We need to be careful. I think we should. Can we all fly? Or stay light?
I'm wearing pretty heavy armor. I'm pretty sure I have to be heavy all the
Just
time.
follow close behind, because it might be
I mean,
things underneath us.
Billy just points up at the leaf. Isn't that supposed to show us the right path?
And it is floating like directly in the center of this kind of path, still trying to lead you in the same direction.
Is it going over the hollow bits?
Oh yeah.
I guess so.
there's usually caverns underneath.
Just I'll follow the leaf.
Follow.
But I'm extra cautious as
You
we
hold your
continue
hands
forward.
above your head for any particular purpose?
Mostly just to like do something with them, because Minka's getting like the really intense urge to like look for cool rocks and stuff.
Sure.
And she knows that we really have to be following this leaf right now.
Absolutely. So in your mind, Minka, you're like, if I put them up here, people will see as I reach down.
Yeah.
No problem.
She says from the back.
Yeah, I'm in the back, but this is basically Minka's equivalent of trying to sit on her hands to be good.
I love that. So all of you, one a little teapot, short and stout, makes their way through this burning forest. Hesitantly, as Ori has pointed out, the ground beneath you in places is hollow. But as you walk following this leaf, the ground is not soft, it doesn't give way. It's pretty, there are pits kind of off to the side. You could see places almost like at one point maybe dens or warrens of animals that now almost are like what Minka tried to have you sleep in, little sort of natural occurring ovens that are fed by the burning trees over top. But there is no real threat of cave-in. Can everybody please make a dexterity saving throw?
But there is something else.
Everyone gets.
You, Ori, please make it at advantage, as your previous passive perception, or your previous perception of 23, gives you the quick insight as to the shadowy flickers of movement that burst from underneath the undergrowth.
Okay.
Everyone gets +4
Very
because I
nice.
say so.
Nice.
All right, Minka, starting with you.
Uno.
Dang.
With
Believe it or
+4?
not, that's a success for me.
Oh.
Yeah, I
natural.
rolled a 1.
What about you, Ori?
24.
24, that is a success.
Well, Minka rolled a 1. I rolled a 2, which thankfully, with all the modifiers, brings it up to a 4. 13.
Still a failure, Valis.
12.
That's a failure too.
Rolled a
Check
28.
28.
This isn't Starfinder.
Hey.
So,
That's
in
Starfinder.
this moment, reaching out from the undergrowth, these shadowy, charred, tendrily vines snag onto Valis, Billy, and Minka. You feel them wrap around your ankles, and they tug. For the rest of you, they slap at you, but you can tug free. Minka, Valis, Billy, all three of you are knocked prone and
Ori's just
restrained.
like, good.
In this moment, can everybody
Valis
please
and
roll
Minka,
for
watch out.
initiative? What are we?
Initiative.
Roll for initiative.
Oh, that's too high for me. No.
I'll trade you.
You want it?
Also
Yeah, actually.
Okay. Anybody natural 20?
You want it? I rolled an 18.
This guy.
Oh, there we go.
Nice.
Valis getting to act before
He's,
the worst.
he's on the
stuff
lookout
goes.
for illusions.
All right, 25
Touching
to
everything.
20.
That's good.
24. No, 22.
22 for Cheshire. All right, 20 to 15.
16.
15, 16 for Minka.
I was too busy looking out.
15 for Ori. You were too alert. And then Billy, what about you?
I'll roll 11.
An 11 for Billy. Billy, you're saving up the good rolls, though. So the way that this
Sure.
ended up working, which I
thank
think
him.
is quite fine for everybody. Valis is starting off the only person to be able to actually beat the landscape as it shifts rapidly around you. Then the shadowy vines will get to take their environmental actions. Then Cheshire goes, then Minka, then Ori, then Billy. So Valis, in this moment, you see this happen. You are restrained, and though you cannot react quick enough to immediately avoid this, and you feel yourself thud into the ground in your heavy armor.
Second wind.
What are you doing?
So I'm prone
You are prone and restrained.
and restrained. All right, what can I do if I don't want to be restrained?
If
Make
you
a
don't want to be restrained, you can make an
athletics
athletics check. I believe it would be at disadvantage.
Who's next to me? I'm not, well, and who else is restrained?
I am.
Little Minka.
Okay. I am going to, what kind of check if it's to not be restrained?
Athletics?
Athletics check.
Okay. I'm just gonna reach for the closest person, which happens to be Billy telling me about illusions, and I'm going to kind of like face step you, just like up 5 feet so that you are no longer restrained. And then I am going to try to break out.
There you go. You tried to break out. Make an athletics check.
Athletics check. I'm actually not that good at those. 11.
With an 11, you tried to break free, and you should have saved some of that face step for yourself because you are unable to do so. You are still held tight. Anything else, Valis?
I've always wanted to be held tight.
That's good.
I'm done.
We will see.
You were at one point.
To the environmental round. Minka and Valis, since you are still restrained by these vines, can you please make a strength saving throw?
Oh man. Amazing.
Natural 20.
Hell yeah.
Am I close enough to Valis?
Valis, you can feel this wrap around you and then tug, and the strength is immense. This almost rips you free of whatever you are grabbing onto, but you just hold taut. You can feel it try to pull you back to some point within the forest.
9.
And you turn and you watch Minka. They see you, they grab on tight. Minka like links their arm around, and then the tree branch that they are holding on to snaps. And Minka is into the woods. Minka, you are yanked 15 feet into the underbrush. Your face is tugged through burning ashes and twigs. You do take 3 points of piercing damage as you are just into the underbrush, and you feel an immense heat as your feet end up on the edge of a burning pit of fire. This is one of these little natural ovens that has been built up out of the chimney of a tree. You can see this is where these shadowy ashen tendrils and vines are emerging from, and if you do not escape by your next turn, you would imagine the next failure on a strength save will see you plunged into this bonfire.
Weird. I did pass
However,
my concentration check though.
That is good. For
Too
you,
bad it got ripped away
Valis,
from-
you are still restrained and prone. You are, however, holding tight where you are. You have not moved a step further on this tracker. In the same moment as the three of you are tugged at, there is a burst of vines. Ori and Cheshire, can you each roll a d6?
If I can find one.
CX.
What was that?
One.
With that
Economy
one,
of
Cheshire,
D6.
can you make a dexterity saving throw, please?
With pleasure.
You get +4.
That is not 18.
With an 18, you are able to just dodge out of the way as these vines swirl around and try to capture you as well. That is all of the environmental round. That brings us to Cheshire.
Well, I am entirely too high in this initiative. Can I see Minka?
You can. All of you are kind of within a roughly 20-foot sphere.
So I can move 20 feet over to her and
Yes.
be able to reach her?
Yes?
I'm going to do so.
Okay.
And then I will dimension Doris both back over to where we were.
Okay.
Yay!
Interesting choice of tactics, but you rush across this space, you grab onto Minka, and Minka, as you are right on the edge of the door, right as you feel your feet begin to catch fire, Cheshire grabs you and then pulls you, almost pushing you into the fire further, but you feel this dimension door open behind you, and Cheshire shoves you through, and the temperature drops drastically on the other side. You look around, and you are still amongst this like big patch of smoldering vines, and so not the ideal place to be pulled to, but you are safer than you were.
Ooh.
Valis, you are now the most in danger out of everybody. Anything else, Cheshire?
Also, yes.
As I should.
Here you go,
be.
Minka. Please don't cry.
Yay!
You are inspired by still being alive.
Heck yeah!
And that brings us to your turn, Minka.
Awesome. Hang on, I'm trying to decide if it's worth this.
You're gonna build a stone wall around us?
No. I was just looking at if I could move some dirt around.
You're gonna build a dirt wall around us.
Oh no, it happens really slowly. Never mind.
Mm.
It's the lame one.
What you doing?
Okay, so now that I'm no longer trapped, my initial thing, oh, okay, I was like,
It's really distracting when you're trying to take a turn.
so
I wasn't expecting to be loud. I'm sorry.
what I'm going to do instead, how, like, is it just the tendrils here? Like, can I see any other, like, creatures?
With your
around?
passive perception, that is all that you see.
Okay, cool. So,
You see a leaf floating in the distance.
okay, considering that things have been going not great, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Moonbeam.
Okay.
It is a concentration, so we'll drop past that a trace. But I'm going to cast it. I believe it starts at 4th level. No, it starts at 3rd level. So I'll cast a 3rd level Moonbeam. I'll, like, is there, like, a centered area to the
There are a few
vines?
of these little kind of pits that these tendrils are emanating from.
Okay.
So absolutely, yeah, there are a couple places you could center it on.
Okay, cool. What's the one that's closest to Valis?
The one that's closest to Valis. It's between you and Valis and Ori.
Okay. I'm gonna cast the Moonbeam on that one to try to hurt the root of the one that's holding Valis.
Absolutely. You fire this down, and almost instantly the shadowy tendrils go completely rigid. Valis, they unwrap like those, those slappy bracelets that you would have, how they can just poof right back out. Almost like that. They just rip away from you, and you are almost spun back to your feet, freed.
Awesome. So that is my action. I'll hold that.
Okay.
I will also shift into the dragon form so I can get bonuses on my concentration checks.
Fantastic. In that moment, all of the little bits of light around you coalesce into the stars of the dragon constellation.
And then I'll turn to Josh and be like, thank you! And like hold him. Hopefully Alice can do something about this.
Fantastic.
Eventually.
That brings us to Ori.
I still have the leaf, right?
You do? Well, the leaf is like floating
Yeah,
freely
like-
about 20 feet away from you.
I continue to follow the leaf, and I'm like, wait, everyone is up except for Billy, right?
No, Billy's up.
Oh, okay, everyone's up. And we're like, just keep moving. We gotta
We're
go.
just gonna move regardless.
I'm gonna move up
Billy's up.
the distance. I guess this isn't where we are anymore,
No.
but I'm gonna move following the leaf.
No problem. You follow the
bonus
leaf.
action dash.
The leaf is slower than you
Oh,
are,
okay.
so easy to follow it.
Then-
You beat the leaf in
Yeah.
our race.
Okay. Then
are running
I'm
circles
following
around
the
it.
leaf with the leaf, and then I guess bonus action hide,
Okay, yeah, make a stealth check.
and then can I ready my action to attack if anything, or like defend against
Yeah,
these
you
vines?
absolutely can. So you hold that action after hiding. That brings us.
And I would defend against the vines for folks that are getting attacked behind me as well.
Gotcha. That brings us to Billy. You are freed from these vines. You can see Valis spinning up to their feet as the moonbeam seems to free them. What are you doing?
I guess we just follow the leaf, and Billy follows the leaf.
You follow the leaf. That is your turn, Billy. That brings us to the top of the round and to you, Valis. It is only Valis, Cheshire, and Minka who are presently in danger.
I say, oh, thank you, Minka. Yeah, let's follow the others, and I will follow the leaf, and I would like to prepare an action to strike any tendril that I can reach if it, goes for
Okay.
me or anyone around me.
You follow the leaf. You hold that action, sort of the entire group holding actions to defend anybody if this should come up. And indeed, it is these shadowy vines. Cheshire and Minka, you're the only two people who are within this sort of range.
Yes. Yep.
Nobody is currently grasped, so can each of you make a dexterity saving throw. And if you succeed, you will be able to move to safety.
No pressure.
If the vines are coming up at them, can I make
I
my
did it.
shot?
Potentially.
I did it. Nice. 26.
What's your check?
Natural 20.
Nice.
With both of those rolls,
The ones that Tina made.
you are able to dodge out of the elements of these shadowy vines and escape to safety with no further issue. They still reach out and grasp at you, but you get beyond their reach. And you have escaped the burning shadow vines.
That was close.
You continue to follow this leaf through the elements of burning trees that give way very steadily to sandy sort of shore. You can see the beach just beyond the elements now, kind of crashing, and you can feel the wind picking up as you get closer. The leaf urges you forward, leading you towards the shoreline, though in the distance you can see to the north, not just to, as you approach the beach, you are heading kind of northeast. As you shift north along the coastline, you can see the coast rises up and up and up. Sandy shores turn to pebbles and boulders, and then it rises up this steep, steep cliff face. And in the far, far distance, barely visible for the distance, you can see a small castle perched up on that bluff. But the leaf is heading still northeast, still towards the shore. Towards the area that is kind of boulder strewn and down below.
What the map was over there, right?
So you would imagine you are probably coming in somewhere in this region.
Okay, so the tower that's off in the distance is presumably
This one right here.
okay. That's the place that we learned was like where they're building.
You didn't learn a whole lot about that particular structure.
So we're heading up.
Like you both.
Okay.
Follow the leaf.
Iron circle made. Yeah.
I can make us all into birds or something. Would that make us look like we belong?
There haven't really been any birds around, have there?
You haven't seen a lot. Off and over the water, you can see this massive storm that stretches for miles across the open ocean. You can see it also leaks out and over the sort of channel beyond this sort of castle. So if this leaf is indeed leading you along the coast, which is what it seems to be doing, you will be crossing at least briefly through that storm if you are just going straight across the water. You can see this storm, there is crackles of arcane lightning that just roll through the dark swirling clouds. But that is what you see. No
Can
birds.
anyone make us look like a band of perhaps patrols?
Or make a perception check, actually, if you're looking for
I need to know what
birds.
the patrols look like.
31.
If we can
With a
spot
31.
what the armor looks like, I can imagine. But I need to know what it looks like.
You can see across this beach, it is maybe 1,000 feet from where you are to the coastline, where it truly becomes like damp sand. And over top, there are just a few flying shapes. But these are not birds. They're not as large as the dragon, but they are quite large. These are ash drakes. You've seen them a couple of times before. You can see almost leaving this trail of ash and smoke as they these huge wings. You can see almost these kind of motes of embers that serve as their eyes up on the heads as they go. They're far up, but they are not too far off from being directly overhead. This seems to be an area that they are patrolling. And the leaf towards the beach.
Okay, what about crabs?
Minka makes a confession to the group.
What about crabs, Minka?
Well, if there are no birds, what about crabs?
Man, it would get us closer to the camp if we just looked like random animals that belong in the area.
Or are you
Will we
looking
be-
down in the sand? who you see with your check, buried most of the way in. First, you think it's just two little pebbles on the surface of the sand, but for just a moment, you see this little pale membrane kind of from the sides, and they're the eyes of a crab just peeking out over the sand, kind of buried in the damp, wet elements, almost like a little tide pool.
How fast
Is it-
are we going to
I
be as
can make us look
crabs?
like whatever we want. I just need to know what to make it look like.
Could you make us look like air?
But to get us closer to the camp, at least, we could be animals in the area.
Is
and
it-
then
Falling the leaf.
Are we gonna be like polymorph to the animals, or is it gonna be an illusion?
We would be the animals.
Yeah, I
How
do
does
the
that-
illusion. She is the actual.
I was a rat once.
Would it be
How's that?
difficult to follow
You
each
were
other?
I mean, we'd probably be slower.
Will we be able to remember who we
Yes.
are?
I think it would be
Yes.
better to just stay as ourselves and be prepared for anything and
Then-
follow the leaf.
Cheshire, do you remember what the armor of the people who follow the big dragon looks like with the claws? Oh,
Do I
it's
Oh,
like
we
this.
we
It's
met
this-
the hunter. Was the hunter wearing armor?
It's
No, they were wearing like kind of
This
just
mark.
leathers. And they did have the
Facial
sigil,
Duneth.
and they do
This
have that
mark?
mark.
Maybe if we have this mark on us, people will leave us alone. Maybe make us look like regular people who aren't blue. And with this mark somewhere on our clothing.
Yeah.
Probably make us look like dragonborns.
Do you speak Draconic?
No.
We should probably be
Well, if
something.
they start
What
talking
if-
to us
Just
in
an
Draconic-
ignorant ass dragonborn.
We could do like. I was gonna say wood elves, but then I remembered I don't know if I've seen a wood elf recently.
What
around
kind
here.
of
Oh, they.
haggly creatures?
You've
We
seen
saw
one
two
little
dead
creature.
bodies
Yeah.
in the basement. What kind of? I don't think I went down to the basement, but I think.
Do we know what
in-
Wendigos look like?
Hold on. In the basement at that Patty said there were two dead bodies. What kind of?
Oh yeah, the two
Species
dead
were they?
the two dead bodies.
I believe they were bugbear.
What if we were perhaps bugbear?
Do bugbears speak any specific languages that we do or do not know?
Goblin.
Do they speak giant? I know giant.
You've encountered at least one that speaks giant.
Well, if you keep me a druid, I can just always go with druidic, because no one knows that.
We're a commune of druids that only speak druidic.
I could be simple. Then no one would have to speak to me.
I mean, I think being bugbear will probably make sense since we're close, relatively close to Rockstone Home, and they sent two bugbears, and maybe they're mostly bugbears.
We're like a few days away from Rockstone Home.
Yeah, but presumably it'd be the closest camp, so
It's
Would an
something.
entire group of bugbear be suspicious?
I.
Or should I vary it up?
What else
Well,
travels with
apparently I
bugbear?
looked like I could belong at the tribe, so I think maybe I'm
Fine.
fine.
I'll be a bugbear.
Well, which one is this?
Could you give me like a tattoo or something?
He told us where
Magically, not like
the
forever.
mall
You know,
tribe
Do I
was.
know anything about bugbears?
Make a history check.
Okay.
So the Mall tribe is not welcome. We're going towards the Mall tribe, I think. The Maw tribe.
You have heard that in the distant past there was a bear and there was a bug. And it's a love story as old as time. And that's where bugbears come from.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes
When
perfect
a
sense.
mommy bugbear and a daddy.
What if we go with like we're a couple prisoners bringing the prisoners up to the witches?
I feel like that's just complicating our story. We should just say that we're a patrol.
We also don't have any manacles. Mandibles.
Manacles.
Manacles.
Well,
You don't have either.
You can
Yeah.
probably make it look like we have some, but again, wouldn't that just kind of be complicating our story? Wouldn't it be easier just to say that we're a patrol?
Sorry,
I
I was
think-
just saying that.
Am I too tall to be a goblin?
Huh?
Yeah, I mean,
We could also just
I can
say
take
we
off
were
like
out
a
hunting.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be
Apparently
a tall
food seems to
goblin.
be an issue.
What?
Food seems to be an issue if they're sending hunters
I
out
think
that
we
far.
should still try to just avoid any sort of
Maybe
contact.
just not blue.
I can do that.
We continue following the leaf.
Hold on. Wait. So what are we? Before you go off, are you going to be casting an illusion on us?
Well, it depends. Are we going as crabs?
I want to follow the leaf. I don't know why we suddenly...
We're still following the leaf. It's just
It's
do
a
we get the
contingency
stealthy man?
plan in case we get detected. Sometimes we get detected, so we should...
Being crabs is going to slow us down.
True. I can make us unusually large crabs.
If we're following
But I don't know if that'll be any
the rules
non-stealthy.
of this thing, it should prevent harm from us, from anything that would want to cause harm.
So you don't think that it's necessary to put an illusion that we're a patrol in case we do get spotted?
I think we should put the illusion on, and I'll save the crabs for later.
Right. That's fine. I'm going to try to be sneaky.
It would be us, though.
Yes, everybody is trying to be sneaky.
That's what we're trying to
that's
do.
what we're trying to do.
But if you be sneaky while looking like Dragon Army, in case you are spotted, you still have that contingency.
Yes, we're thinking of layers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not disagreeing.
sometimes-
That's what I'm saying. I just want to keep
Sometimes saying
moving.
we just
No,
won't be spotted, it may not work
I'm just
out.
saying. But I'm just saying. I don't
Actually,
think we
do
should be
for
crabs.
longer when
But I
we're
don't
trying to
care
sneak?
how you tried to.
We're
be
past the
sneaky.
crabs. I think we're trying to figure out what type of patrol we want to
Okay.
be.
I will be a not blue half-elf, and maybe I'll just have like something around my mouth so people don't talk to me. Because every time we sneak and I start talking, it falls apart.
Oh no, we did this plan in campaign 1.
We met a guy once, I think, on Lake Charcana that was missing a jaw. Maybe you could be missing a jaw.
He still talks a lot, though.
Yeah, well, who's a cat talk like that so you can really understand him.
Sound of
I'll
silence.
leave that up. I'll leave that up to you.
Hmm.
Josh.
I like that.
Don't even
No,
worry
sorry.
about
All right,
Okay,
Cheshire,
bugbear.
are you casting
Ori will also
spells?
be a bugbear.
What?
I am casting Seamate.
Fantastic. So you cast Seeming. This ability is a potent one, and this is, I believe, the first time that you're casting it. Second time. First time was with the Awesome Lot group.
Correct.
So you create Valis the Bugbear, changing
No.
this.
Valis is the Dragonborn.
Okay.
And
Do I look like a bugbear?
Not at all.
Ori is the Bugbear. Minka is a half-elf as requested, not blue,
That's my favorite color.
but dressed in robes almost, with this wrap around her mouth. With like a little symbol drawn in the center. Perfect.
Is it the Glacial Duneth symbol?
Love it.
Fantastic. The funny thing about the Glacial Duneth symbol is it's just a draconic G, first of all, that's like very stylized. But secondly, it also is stylized to look like his mouth. So it's like a little dragon mouth over Minka's mouth.
That's actually
hilarious.
pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Dope ass motifs.
Pretty
sir.
cool druid.
Yeah, no, I know, I designed it.
Yeah, pretty cool druid.
And going with the symbols that I've seen and that I know, and probably black mostly for color.
Sure. Absolutely. And you have just a standard stock Billy.
Standard stock Billy. And Cheshire is old and kind of stooped a little bit. She's taking advantage of the being a little shorter. And the old grandma type.
Okay. Fantastic.
Where's the tattoo?
Wherever you want it to be.
Okay. It's visible. I
It's
just want to make sure.
It's just the army mark.
I just, yeah, fair. Yeah, it's just over Billy's mouth. As long as it's, Billy was a little worried about where Cheshire would put the tattoo.
I like it as just a watermark pattern across your skin.
There's like the lines going across, and every once in a while there's just like a tree.
Cheshire. Yeah, no problem. You cast Seeming, and for each of you in this space, you are transformed into two very different bugbears.
Not a dragon.
Dragonborn.
I know.
Yes. That's why they're very different.
Hence the
That
smoke.
is the difference. And Minka, you find yourself to be roughly what you requested. All of you now make your way in disguise, following this leaf across the sand. This is interesting.
I can't wait to see the immediate first person you run to his true sight.
Ori, since we're both bugbears, we should have a backstory. We'll say we're brothers.
No, you're Dragonborn. I told you, you're not a bugbear.
You
I don't know
follow
why
the
you
leaf
think
to
that
the shoreline, and you can see in
Cheshire
the
would
distance
listen
the
to you.
sand gives way to sloping and rising cliffs. It is difficult, though you are cast and seeming. Valis, you still wear heavy armor, and in the sand, it kind of sinks you down. You can feel it almost pulling you underneath with each step. The wind kicks up here, swirling in these almost twisting swirls, almost like little dirt devils that travel along the edge of this beach. You can feel the storm kicking in. The leaf leads you up to the edge of the water, where you can hear it crash against the rocks before just zagging up north along the coast. Every step gets a little bit harder than it ought to be as the wind continues to pick up. And for those of you who are magic users, you can feel a wicked arcane energy that swirls off and to your right over the ocean.
I feel fine.
You feel great.
What a nice sea breeze!
Any type of check we can make to discern what that was?
Make an Arcana check.
I'm pretty sure
Everything's-
it's the angry grown lady,
Goodbye,
but
guys.
Yeah. Like, tell your friend Patty to give me back my shit.
13.
With the 13, you look out, and this storm, there is magic in it.
Patty didn't
13.
Thank you.
13. The 13, there is magic in this as well. As you are traveling across the beach, you do see overhead, Ori, those two astrakes that were kind of circling overhead. They do descend gradually as they go out in a wider and wider circle until they're only about 80 feet overhead. You can see the burning eyes. You can feel their attention on you. But for this spell that has been cast across you, they do not seem to overly engage. And eventually, again, right back up in a single spiraling motion until they are again well overhead.
Nice.
You rush down to the water, to the edge, and you continue to walk along to where you begin to get to a lower vantage point on the beach, and slowly the shadow begins to be cast by these cliffs as they rise up off to your left. Ahead of you, after you walk, and the whole distance from getting down to the edge of the beach to this next point, probably about 30 minutes, you reach a point where ahead of you by about 80 feet, below where you can clearly see the tide line rises up and up and up to the cliffs, and you reaching this almost at the lowest point of this tide, you can see that there is a cave ahead that is nestled into the foot of these cliffs. And not an ordinary cave. It is almost a semi-tubular cave of damp, spectacularly colorful coral of all shapes, sizes, and descriptions that are lumped into a sort of hollowed-out section of limestone that forms these bluffs over top. You can see a few glow with faint bioluminescence. A few have these tendrils that just kind of sway in the air that passes through very loudly. You can see the leaf rushes steadily towards the cave. What are you doing?
It's going towards the cave.
Like into the cave?
Yeah.
Into it. Are we somewhere like here?
Probably
now?
right about there.
Okay.
I think through the walk checker would have ushered Valis closer to the front.
Is this like... I mean, it's not gonna bring us into any creatures that could harm us, but as we have learned, it has been not so caring about natural occurrences.
Like we belong.
It's okay. I made a torch.
What if the tide comes in?
Don't just look like we
She can
belong.
make us fish.
I can either make you fish or I can cast a spell.
Can I find some coral?
You look up, and as you get closer, this is an entire 20-foot tall cavern of coral. Really almost like a canyon, though there is no opening top. It is just like a curve. If you imagine how a wave looks right when it's about to crash, when somebody's like surfing through, it is like that, but just wet, colorful coral all the way through, and it snakes into this path that makes it hard to see too deep into this. You can see that there is about 6 inches of water in little pools and tidal pools along this space, but there is enough dry ground to easily walk along this cavern. There is also dim light here, owing to the bioluminescence of some of these corals. In places where the coral has not entirely encased this sort of tube, you can see a little bit of sunlight coming in, though mostly the cloudy skies have blocked that out. You can hear and feel fresh air blowing through. There are a few here little birds up and in the crannies of this coral.
Seabirds? Seaburbs?
Make a nature check.
You said it's low tide. Does that mean that when it's... does it look like, looking at the walls and the tide line, if it's high tide, then this
It's
cave will be
seabirds.
like
Make a nature check.
washed out?
I'll also make
It was
a
a
nature
5.
check.
Make a nature. What was that?
Billy knows nothing about
I don't
With
know.
a 5, you look at these
Those are probably
birds, and
seabirds.
these birds look back at you, and you can tell
They're
in this moment one of them is looking at you and saying, "Fuck that
Fuck that bird. Fuck birds.
rivalry."
Billy's
Fuck
just
that
like actively
seagull up
following
there.
the leaf, not caring.
11.
11. With an 11, you look, and you hear Ori say, "When the tide comes in," or "if the tide comes in." It is a when question, but it's a good question because you don't know. Maybe it will come in and be about halfway up this tube. Maybe it will be all the way up.
Is
hard to
there like
tell.
a salt line or anything along the wall?
With your
that
nature check, you have a hard time discerning between the natural striation of the
Or
limestone
like
and what might be salt.
erosive?
What about a 22?
With a 22, you see a very distinct line of salt. You see places where the algae grows and then distinctly does not, where there is probably no water that generally rises up. You see places more distinctly where the skeletons of limpets hang, and these need to be within sort of tidal waters. And so you have a very distinct idea of where this ends. This entire tube of coral will be submerged at high tide, likely in about 8 hours.
Okay, so in about 8-ish hours, this whole thing will be underwater. So
Okay.
you squint really closely to the one that kind of looks like where that bird nest is, and that weird orange one next to it. If you squint really close, you can kind of see a salt line.
Okay, so we have 8 hours.
Ish.
We should.
Don't do anything weird. Don't
Just
talk.
keep following the
Don't grab
leaf.
anything. Go with the leaf. You're supposed to be here.
Okay, should I preemptively assume we're going to be underwater at some point?
8 hours is pretty long. Hopefully we'll be through here by then. Maybe wait a little bit.
I agree. Take a chance.
Okay.
Okay. You follow the leaf. Can I get a marching order?
Or
I believe I was pushed to the front.
So it's probably
I think
Lena
well, it's,
technically again
no.
as the leaf, but then Val is like up with her, and then
Well,
Cheshire would have like
Ori's
placed herself behind.
Okay. So
Cool.
Ori, Valis, and Alina up front. So kind of 3 and 3, roughly.
like
Okay.
a like a diamond crystal formation.
Okay.
I'm probably
Crystal formation.
formation.
I'm probably once again towards the back,
Two.
mildly
Quick
distracted
balance.
by everything happening around
Opposites
me.
Minka,
each other.
this is a miraculous place. You are here in a place that
Triangles
seems
are
as if
strong.
it is almost full of living stone. You can see limestone that is an actual documentation of the history of this place. It is beautiful, and there is quite a lot of things that perhaps could be touched, could be separated or picked up. You see places where this rock-like plant glows from bioluminescence, not phosphorescence, truly just creating its own light. You see I would say you see upwards of 20 species of coral just in this little section alone.
I gotta make a willpower check. Damn. It's high enough.
High enough? Okay.
Sometimes you just want to fail.
Minka's
walk.
just like
I've got a high enough passive perception that maybe I could stop you.
You see her hands like over her head, but they're clearly shaking. As she tries to restrain herself from touching things.
As you walk into this
doing a great
place,
job, Minka.
Minka steadily kind of decompensating as you go. There are places where the ceiling, 20 feet high, gets a little bit lower, a little bit higher, but always a pretty good amount of clearance overhead. The width of this place, for you especially, Billy, it starts narrow at 20 feet wide, and in places it gets as close as 10. There are places where the three of you, Alina, Ori, and Valis, cannot stand side by side, but by and large, most of the places you can. This is a very large sort of tunnel, and you walk. Is there anything that you're doing as you are walking?
following the leaf.
Looking like we belong.
Okay.
You said
You've done that with a spell.
dim light in here?
Dim light. Little patches of dim light places that are entirely dark, but mostly dim light.
Okay. If it starts to get very, very dark, to the point where we're in danger of stepping on something sharp, and as we pass through it, Minka would try to get the ever burning torch out of the bag of holding.
Okay. For the moment, you're okay, but we'll hold on to that for now.
Or we would probably be trying to like keep track of where, relative to where we entered the cave, we are. Like, are we going underneath the channel at some point?
It feels as if you are running directly underneath the bluffs, so you would be walking straight through the war camp right now.
Okay, so it's
if
like
you were
almost
about 200
directly...
feet up.
Okay, so we're like underneath the beach right now.
You are underneath the cliffs, right alongside the beach.
Right where? Well,
yeah, right there. Yeah.
Right around there. Okay, cool. I guess would just be on watch for anything suspicious.
No problem. Anybody else? Anything that you want to do?
I walk like a bugbear.
Okay, you walk like a bugbear.
Not a
Your
dragon ball.
bugbear trail kind of colliding with things as you do. No problem.
That's how I imagine they walk.
No, they walk.
After you walk for
scary.
close to an hour, making your way through this coral tube, there are places where off to the left, the limestone begins to open into these small caverns and tunnels. You could diverge from this primary path if you wish at different places.
Only what the leaf tells us.
Though you can see the leaf goes steadily right along this main path. You can see these side tunnels dip down and in many places are submerged in very still salt water. You do get to a place after about an hour where at some point in the pretty distant past, there has been a cave-in. Luckily, the boulders and slabs of limestone have left a tall but narrow crack through which you can all squeeze. Unluckily, this has happened sometime in the past, and in the interim, many varieties of coral have colonized this place. And as you reach this 5-foot wide space, they have grown out in fans and arrays and big lumps like brains. You see in the distance places where fans of coral almost mirror yourself back.
When you say mirror yourself back,
yes.
What do you mean by that?
So you know how a mirror reflects
surface.
your image?
Okay.
Like that, but back to you. It's almost like
a
each of
pearlescent
these
reflected
waves
surface.
of like kelp are reflective back. And it's like you're looking into a funhouse mirror from far away almost.
Okay.
But you will almost certainly need to break through elements of this to get to the other side of this canyon-like structure. You can't see to the other end for how much coral has grown in here, but you can feel wind blowing from within. You hear a faint whistle caused by the air as it passes through these jagged pieces of coral. In the front of this space, you do see the vast majority of the plants here are bright red tendrils that almost snake across this area, going back as far as you can see almost. They are flat and draped down across the space like strips of plastic. At a car wash, you know, those like plastic curtains, very much like that. And that is the first thing that you see within this kind of path.
Does anyone recognize what this plant is? I say
Make a
out loud.
nature check.
Nope.
This is coral.
Nope.
Coral. This is coral.
Natural 20. Why'd I even ask you
Let me
bozos? I
tell
already
you
know
about
the
this
answer.
plant.
That was a pop quiz. You all failed. And let me tell you the answer.
Valis, you know about red royal coral. This coral, if you are to touch it, will almost certainly poison you for a substantial amount of time. It gets onto your skin. It almost kind of hardens into this like sort of cast-like structure that is very hard to remove. In the water, it loses this red color and becomes almost translucent and is very hard to see. But right now, dry as it is, kind of wafting in the wind, you can at least visualize it.
Can we, like, chop it off?
Yeah, you can chop it off as long as you're very careful.
Could we, like, gather some of it?
You could try as long as you're very careful.
What would the tools be for that?
I would say if you have an herbalism kit, that would work.
Billy lights her sword on fire.
Okay.
Hmm?
Does it look like there's not enough space? You said it's like it's gonna be a squeeze, right?
It's a
Oh,
5
yeah.
foot.
Can we even get through with the coral that you mentioned growing out?
Not without damaging it at least a little bit.
Okay.
Unless
Are there
there's a
any
different way that
other-
you want to try to modify the
Is it
environment.
Just a
mostly?
blazing sword.
But with this
Probably a
blazing
good
sword,
idea.
that blazing sword will remove elements of coral.
Is it a good idea to remove some of this coral so that we can get through?
Says the one who rolled the natural 20.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess that's more of a structural question in terms of the cave-in.
It won't cause a cave-in. This is growing off the sides and off the kind of floor, so you can remove the coral parts here without causing like any kind of structure.
And the coral is different from the plant that is poisonous, or is it the same thing?
Same thing.
Oh.
The plant part is kind of growing out of the structure of the dried, what is becoming limestone over time. There is this very soft, almost polyp that is coming out of it, and that is this red, almost.
So it's almost like hairs coming out of the sides,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
the hairs are the kelp, and yeah.
Very much like that.
Unless you got a more delicate one. Billy just stares at a sword on fire.
We could be crabs.
I think either plan is fine. Do you need to save that spell?
It is
or-
an upper level spell.
Why?
But
we
we
save
were
that?
crabs for a long time.
So Ori's just trying to think. This is the safe path to avoid harm from creatures, but this is clearly something that is like we're going through a dangerous area.
For sure. And you can see that there are like little teeny tiny crabs. There are limpets and things. Things do live here, but it's dangerous. And then you see Billy kind of cross your field of vision and step into this sort of space. Billy, it is narrow. As you look into the space, you can't help but for a moment see this wet coral as mud and the elements of exposed tendrils and polyps as roots. And you can't help but feel this wind and the whistle shift into rain hitting the ground overhead. This is narrow, Billy.
Just gotta be careful.
As you make the first cut, it's easy enough, but every cut brings your shoulders a little bit closer together, and even with the coral cleared away, you can feel it pinching you in. It is impossible for you, Billy, to cut all the way through without touching it at least a little bit.
Hold on. Maybe these will help. And I will take out some gloves. They are like the world's okayest gloves from Eric the Glover.
Oh, from the fucking
I am wearing
serial
the
killer?
world's second most okayest pair
From
of
the
gloves.
fucking serial killer?
You know, he may have been a serial killer, but you have to separate the art and the artist. He made some really good gloves.
I'll put
Pulling
those
out of
gloves on
people.
as well.
Yeah.
Billy's just gonna like very slowly go through and attempt to like keep going.
Using these gloves, there's no mechanical benefit.
Wasn't using
But-
those gloves.
Go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw. And this is just a single throw that only you have to make as you lead the charge here, sort of sacrificing your mental well-being to do so. This is incredible.
I like to. Ooh.
Was that a check?
So it's a 21 unless I'm close enough to Valis.
I was gonna say
You
plus
are
4.
close enough to
In
balance.
which case it's a 25.
Nice.
With a 25, even as this touches you, you look down and you have faced worse. You brush this off. You are not poisoned. You are not poisoned for 6 hours. You are not poisoned for 1 hour.
Making the path wider. Wider is good. Wide
And
is
with that check as
You
well,
had those gloves
you are
on.
able to do so with enough precision so that you avoid touching this again, but much more importantly, you catch when the coral transitions from this kind of burning red grass to these nodules that are growing. They look very much like limestone, but they're not. They're a little bit more brown. You imagine they are spongier to the touch. And they begin to grow thick and dense, almost like rotting brains that kind of sag off the walls without the water to hold them up. In places, they actually grow so big that they bulge like pillows ready to burst between these two walls. You will probably need to at least clear a little path through. Though, Billy, with that check, I would say you clear enough away to look up and see 15 feet up, there is a 5-foot gap in this almost brain-like coral that you could crawl through if you were very careful not to rupture it beneath you.
Where's the leaf going?
The leaf just right up and then straight through.
Ah.
Is it dim light still?
Yep.
I fly up.
You fly up. And you're just flying up to the top there?
Well, I'm flying up, carefully following the leaf and avoiding touching things, and presumably, if I've been keeping track, we're either past the fortress.
Oh
or...
no.
Are we-
You're racing the tide to get to that fortress. When you get to the fortress, if you are moving at a relatively good clip, you will get there.
Then I would
pretty
want to
close
get
the end of
up,
the tide.
and once I get up to the top, be prepared to be sneaky.
Okay.
What
So
if
you
we just
fly up to the top.
levitate Valis and just gently push him?
What if I just climb?
Make a dexterity saving throw, Ori, as you
I
get to
just
the
climb.
top.
How can you climb in
But if you hit one of those pockets of sponge,
Oh, that.
26.
With the 26, you get up to the top and you kind of pull your limbs in for just a moment. You float. Can you fly, or are you only able to?
Only in dim light. So once I get up to the top, I presumably am like dropping, but I drop safely to the ground when it.
Safe is a relative word.
Well, I drop
You take no
without
fall
taking fall damage. Yeah.
But up here, there is no ground. Beneath you,
Oh,
where
shit.
there would be a cavern, there are just bulging elements of this brain-like nodule. And you really do almost need to touch it. With that check, you can choose to just fall back down to the bottom if you wish, just drifting down to the 15 feet below and not touch this thing. Or you can choose to land on it and see what happens.
Or I can become a bat.
Also true.
I think I'm going
does
to
it work
use
in not
my.
dim light?
I think I get it just one a day. I can be a bat. I'm pretty
I
sure.
believe so. I don't think you need to be in dim light for
Yeah,
that.
it's the dim light is just for the flying.
So, I'm trying to understand. So, it sounds like small cave. Now, a bunch of modules on the ground that could explode, but there's a 5-foot thing above it without floor that we can go over.
It's kind of less of a cave in this particular place because of the cave-in. It has become almost like a canyon where it's just 20 feet by 5 feet straight and kind of
I
curving
see.
and hooking around, where you had just passed, these little strands had grown down and from the walls and had become an impediment. Here, you have reached a place where these new species of coral grow so big that they block entirely this canyon, except for a little 5-foot gap up near the top, where it seems like perhaps the water doesn't quite reach, or for whatever reason, it has not completely filled the space.
Oh, and how high up is the top?
15 feet up.
I see.
And so Ori is up at that little spot that he could potentially crawl through.
I thought I was higher up.
Do you
Cast levitate, I cast fly, carry you push Valis.
I guess
I
I wouldn't
could.
change. I would just go back down, seeing as they're kind of waiting right now.
What would I do?
I thought it was more dire to like
Fly
land
down.
or fall like really far.
I could.
Would
Would that work?
What?
Could we have Alina carry one of us?
Yeah. you can
Okay.
do that.
I was just like,
So, when I got up to
So
the
you're
15
flying?
feet, how far
I fly,
ahead
I
was
carry
there
Minka.
more of this?
Minka casts levitate on
About
you.
30 feet
and
further.
Minka pushes you.
Okay.
And
How does
then
levitate work? Can you
you
just
have
push me?
seen that like mirror-like substance off
So,
beyond that.
That sounds good.
you can
So more of that red
you
kelp.
can
Something different.
control your verticality, but you can't control your horizontal movement. So basically, I would be like guiding you, I give you momentum, and you would basically. It's basically you're playing like Flappy Bird.
So yeah, you're
yeah,
like
we're gonna
tapping a
play
little
Flappy
balloon
Bird.
filled with like your breath, not helium.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, great. So you're using levitate?
All right, so levitate.
So
Alina fly carries Billy.
yeah, Lena flies and carries Billy. Cheshire casts fly on herself.
Okay.
Cheshire picks up Minka.
And Ori is a bat.
Minka casts
Not a bat.
levitate
I'm not a bat. I didn't bat.
on Valis.
Okay. Why aren't you a bat?
And Minka
I'm just
pushes
gonna
Valis.
jump it because I can
So we're-
fly.
Oh, if you can fly, why don't you just fly through it?
That's what I'm doing. I
Then
can
he'll,
fly.
then he'll be beyond it, so he doesn't want to do that until you guys have gone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise
'Cause-
he'll be alone by himself.
Yeah,
ahead.
because like I could have landed up at the top, but I would have landed on the stuff. But I need to fly the entire distance, which I can
Alright.
do, but I need to do it.
So we have our
in like
plan.
a-
Do we get through?
You cast flight. You pick up Minka and airlift them across. For you, Billy, you are tippy-tap like a balloon apparently across.
No, that's
yeah,
Valis.
Oh, Valis, you're tippy-tap like a balloon across.
I'm just like dangling from Alina's arms by the armpits.
The
like
dignity
a bad
of being
cat.
a passenger. And Ori, you hop up and then into a bat and across. And if this is how you cross, not touching any of the dead water nodules, you are able to pass through and into the next section.
What's that name?
On the other side of this area where you all fly to, and Ori, where you kind of right back into... Or no, you can stay a bat.
I can stay back.
You absolutely can.
Yeah, I can stay
So
back.
where you stay a bat. That's honestly what I was thinking, and I thought it so hard that that's what I made it in my mind.
When Matt said, I'm not bat.
Well,
I'm just like,
was there dim light through that whole area?
Because of the bioluminescence and how close it is to the ceiling, it's not. But when you get to the other side, you are back.
Okay.
Though here, you are now in a cluster of this mirror glass fan coral that spreads almost like these fans away from the walls and ceilings of this place. As you reach this other side, it is very quiet in this place. You don't hear any whistling anymore. It is distinctly quiet here, but you can see 30 feet beyond, there is a much wider space that is a little bit more free of coral than this very narrow area that you have been witnessing.
Bless you.
You are nearly through this narrow space.
Bring in the fourth wall.
I guess I would. It's probably easier to navigate through as a bat right now, so I would utilize that to just continue following the leaf as a
Make a
bat.
stealth check as a bat.
Nice.
So levitate.
I think it's like a
concentration spell, so I can hold it.
39.
Oh,
As a
Do
bat.
you still? Well, because
I'm a little tired. So
oh
you can
well,
just
what's
keep pushing me,
the
that'd be great.
Just like gently.
I don't. Is it just regular bat
Bring
stats?
to me like a balloon.
So for that,
Let me see.
I believe you are just getting +2.
Okay, then it is still a 31.
With a 31, you go through very quietly. And these little tiny wings kick up just little tiny drifts of wind. But almost nothing. It is like a moth fluttering through.
I glide most of the way.
For the rest of you, you observe no changes to the coral around you as Ori just drifts through into a much wider space beyond. Ori, you find a place where there is just stone. It widens out to almost 20 to 25 feet wide. This is a place where the cave-in has kind of ended, and you are again within this tunnel. You can feel a little bit of wind here beyond, blocked by the little divot that drops down to where you can see the rest of your party now making their way through the fan coral. Is there, are the rest of you traveling through the exact same ways?
If we can.
Following the leaf, right?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Make stealth checks.
Can I use my keen hearing as a bat? Ooh, I have eye for detail and keen hearing.
You can.
I want to
As
try
you
to.
tune in your keen hearing as a bat, you're aware of the fact that some of these fan corals are vibrating. And it is at a intensely high frequency. You hadn't caught it before. You did not disturb any to cause that to happen. These seem to have a natural resonance. And it's worrying, because if it were much higher, they might shatter.
I squeak.
And then Valis enters the fray.
He's still
Despite the
levitating.
fact that he is being
Oh, wait.
tippy-tapped beyond,
If I'm levitating,
Yeah.
how does that affect my stealth check?
it does not.
2.
With the 2, as you tap Valis, there is a gentle thump, and that sound for you is deafening. Because you can hear the fans suddenly sink into resonance. There is a loud, high-pitched noise that for you, Ori, is unbearable. For the rest of you, you hear nothing, but you feel more in danger.
Quickly.
You were a 2. What was your stealth check?
32.
Fantastic. Billy,
13.
get back to you in a second.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Many of you sail through this space, some of you a little bit less elegantly, but surprisingly effectively. Minka, you were 13 for Billy. Billy, you are being carried by Alina, and Alina has been really focused on this toffee apple.
That's real good.
Not a lot focused on you. You don't realize right away as your altitude drops lower and lower and lower, And then Alina looks down and just goes, "What?" Right as your feet just tap the tops of this fan coral. And as it explodes, because it is 8:30 and a good place for us to take a break, this is where we're going to step away for just a moment. And when we get back,
That's crazy.
Billy will be able to make a saving throw. Thank you for joining us for this session of Ports of Everest. There will be a countdown on your screen. We'll be back at the end of it. We'll see you then. And welcome back. Thank you for joining us. If you stuck with us through the break, thank you for that. If not, welcome to D&D. You are a part of this now. We have a party of high-ish level adventurers who are making their way through a coral cavern.
Coral.
We're high.
You've done a relatively good job, with the exception of Billy, who now, passing through this cavern of mirror glass-like fan coral. Billy, you were unable to pick up on this resonance. You got a little too close, and as your foot brushes it, this fan coral shatters. As it breaks, can you make a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage as you are held aloft by Alina?
Coral.
I love how I also did 4 in the stealth check, but I get none of the consequences.
9.
You were the first failure.
With a 9.
He primed it.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
Actually, yes, that's how that works.
I wasn't joking.
Only 12 points of slashing damage.
Okay.
As this explodes, Alina also makes a dexterity saving throw, which I will do. And with a 19 on the dice, almost certainly succeeds. For you, you block Alina's body from all of the shards of glass. You take it straight into your face and chest, and Alina takes none.
Gunnar, I don't appreciate that.
You see Alina looks down and just kind of goes, sorry, and continues to carry you across. But all of you make your way to the far side, where just 30 feet beyond where the cavern opens up, you can see there is a place where off and to the right, the source of this little bit of wind, a break in the wall and the coral, and the ocean kind of washes in gently. There is a space where the floor is given away and has filled in much like a moat. Maybe 30 feet wide is this trench, and the water on the inside churns, not quite white water, but with these swirling, unpredictable patterns. It would be dangerous to cross this water just swimming through, but luckily there is a coral, almost bridge that has grown across. You can see the coral that grows across, almost like living limestone. It is greenish, almost like lemon lime green, that looks very much like a tennis ball has been frayed across rock. Though this is almost certainly, though spongy, firm enough to walk across.
Billy grabs the collar of Minga's dress and stops her from going to lick it.
Well, if we're flying still, I mean, Cheshire's still holding her too. So.
Never mind.
Yeah. You feel Minka squirm as she wants to inspect the limestone closer. No.
So Cheshire, you fly Minka across. Alina flies Billy across. Valis, you are getting just volleyballed across here and there.
Spike me!
You still staying as a bat and flying across? You easily pass over this bridge. You can see below as you pass in this churning water, little sparks kind of zap out as these jellyfish caught in the current are just swirling through this little cavern below. You do see also in the holes of this bridge, here and there, little wiggles of movement, almost like long worms. Perhaps about a foot long, you see there are tiny little snakes that make their home amongst this bridge, and less of a bridge, more of a nest that you just flew over top.
I wish to can I get a good look at the water snakes?
Make a nature check. You can certainly get a good look at them.
Hell yeah. Distracted.
Oh no.
I was gonna say, what happens to Valis?
No, he's fine, because I just look at them and be like, those sure are water snakes with a total of 9.
You've heard of limbless lizards, and these actually might be them. You're not even convinced that those are snakes. Those could just be worms. But you make your way over into the other side, where there is just unremarkable tunnels with very remarkable coral, but wide enough for you to fly through with no issue. You continue to fly, and this tunnel grows taller. There are places where now, before it was maybe 20 feet tall, in places up to 40 feet at the tallest points, though it is steadily becoming filled with pushy, plushy, almost translucent green moss that hangs about 25 feet down from the ceiling.
Can I rest on top of the leaf and just go with it as a bat?
Sure.
Is it light enough?
There's nothing mechanically written about that on this Homebrew Wayfinder.
That just feels
item.
cute.
But yeah, why not?
Yeah, that
Look at
just feels
You
cute. A little bat sitting on
onto
a
it.
leaf.
You almost fall off. It's a very poor landing, but you land, and eventually it just kind of carries you along.
May I?
You have to spread your wings out to get the airflow, but yeah.
May I contemplate if any large or otherwise dangerous creatures would live in such a plush, biodiverse area such as this?
Make a nature check. You continue to fly through this space.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
With a natural 20, you
Plus 6.
recognize a
6.
couple of things, actually. First, as you are traveling through, and you have been traveling for maybe 10 minutes at this point, and you are all still able to fly, correct?
Up to an hour.
Up to an hour? Okay,
Yeah.
so we have like an hour as the timer for flight.
I think with Alina's Pronk, it's in 10-minute bursts. But I believe she has more than one casting of it now.
I believe so. Give me 1 second here.
Lots of rules lawyer, someone who's
Mirthful.
not my character.
I'm not
if she's-
present.
Yeah. You
I
might
can
want
be
to
a
like
backburner
not have
as
her use her prompt the
well.
entire time then.
Yeah.
Also true, also true. So then in that case, what are you doing to get through? You could just walk here.
I
This
guess
part-
Billy's gonna have to walk because there is no
Oh,
other
I guess I can
alternative.
carry you as I levitate.
Yeah. Levitate works for up to 500 pounds as long as the combined weight of Val's
Just
and
how do you
Billy's.
feel about that?
So you basically get to pass from your best friend's arms into your worst nemesis' arms?
Is there like a pile of 3 people just on this levitate?
Oh, so
No, it's
Valis
two.
is
Not yet.
levitating. You are
Well,
on
how will
Valis.
Alina get across?
Oh, that's true.
She's not here, we don't have to worry about her.
Yeah.
There's just
Right,
a
Joe?
pile of 3 people on this levitate spell.
She can just
We'll say Alina is,
tap-
the cream to the Oreo sandwich.
Yeah,
She
you
can
can,
pronk-
we
she
wait
can
till
pronk-
Alice is right
Alina
now.
she
is-
can pronk
is
off the
walking at the
levitation.
She's...
She can float and then pronk
It could
off
just be the world's
levitation.
weirdest totem pole.
Alina's walking steadily behind you, enough to avoid danger if it should come up.
Okay.
Yeah, she's just following in our wake. So if anything happens,
Billy's
So would
already
you prefer
clear.
to walk or be
we're
carried
triggering
while
all the
levitate?
traps and shit.
How... Joe, is this still like surrounded by brain coral, or is this
No.
like the tunnel before where...
It's
Long
open.
Now
break
it is
now.
opened up. There's a very diverse amount of coral, but nothing that looks as dangerous as the stuff that you just passed through.
Can
Billy's
we
gonna
see
walk.
more of
Billy doesn't want to be
the
held.
sky?
You cannot
Billy
see
doesn't
the
wanna be held by
sky.
Alina.
Though here and there you
Hello.
can see off on the sort of right-hand side, the wall is not entirely grown over by coral, and so you can see glimpses of clouds. Certainly that.
Sitting on a leaf, little bat floating.
My internet browser just crashed, so I'm restarting that. But in the meantime, you walk through this space, Alina and Billy kind of, I guess, stacking on this levitate.
No,
We're-
Billy's
we're
walking.
walking.
Okay, you're walking.
Well, Billy's walking.
Well, if Alina's levitating, then Billy would levitate. But if Alina's walking, then Billy will also walk.
Okay, so you're walking. Easy enough. You walk through this space, and eventually you reach the space where that moss grows out from the walls and begins to creep into the floor as well. You'll have to walk across it. And that might not be an issue, though I would say, Minka, with your nature check previously, you have been looking for large creatures, and you begin to see signs of creatures. You see little skeletal, almost melting crabs that are clinging and almost wrapped up by elements of this moss. These are juveniles of a much larger species. There is a species of crab that you have heard of called boulderback clacker crabs. They are large enough that they carry just huge arrays of coral and things on their back.
Okay, perfect.
They can span up to 15 feet wide. They're quite large.
I think someone in
And these are
Thornholm had that.
little baby versions of those kind of tangled up in this moss.
So the second I see them, Nicola will excitedly point down towards them while she's still carrying her and be like, oh, they're baby boulder clacker crabs. I heard they can carry an entire boulder on their back when they're big.
And with a
I think they're
natural
being eaten.
20, at that same moment, you see a piece of stone detach, become a little bit more pink for just a moment, and around this crab before sucking it into a sort of clump of this mossy substance. You, with that natural 20, see an octopus, a giant octopus of some variety that just grabs this skeletal thing out of the clutches of this moss and consumes it. You see little bits of the crab just in this cloud that comes out from inside this moss. There are definitely larger creatures here. but nothing dragon large
Right,
like you had
right,
seen
right.
on the outside.
An octopus! I think I've only seen them dead.
I want
Holding
to,
me
as a
in
bat,
tighter.
be very cautious and avoid any dangerous things like octopods.
You fly up
This is like
high.
those rides that like you have like a TV screen of like what you're going through.
Here the
Well, I
water's
guess
providing
as long as I'm
containment.
still on a leaf, I'm probably fine. I
there's still just like
I
little
trust the
pools of
leaf.
water. Though, important to note, at this point, you note that the pools are now a little bit connected. Before you had seen just disparate little puddles. Now it is like there are little rivulets that are connecting each one. You do sense that the water is beginning to rise, and on the walls that are off into your east, especially and north, there is little bits. It almost looks like condensation around the edge, but it is the water level slowly rising on the outside. Here and there, the clumps hang down with these skeletonized bits of crab, and you will need to walk through this moss, Billy and Alina. For the rest of you can fly through, and though it does kind of hang down in little curtains, as long as you're very careful, you should be fine.
Where roughly would we be now? Have we passed here?
Nope.
Or we're still
Still going underneath.
still
You imagine
This is just like
you would be underwater.
I would not recommend small crabs in this area. That looks like it's a bad plan.
I agree.
Billy's walking.
You walk into this moss. As you begin to pad across it, your foot touches it. It's landing on a clump and sticks. Can you make a strength check?
I stay near the walkers close enough to
You
give
have
them
no choice.
+4. Oh, you're right.
So if Valis is nearby, would you
He's
say
still
Valis is nearby?
Yeah.
18.
With an 18.
Oh no, it's a check, not a saving throw.
Correct.
14.
With a 14, that is a failure. You pull your foot and it does not come free. Is there anything that you're doing? A couple
Hold
seconds
on.
go by, and all of a sudden, this moss begins to ooze this little element of goo. And Billy, across your foot, you take 9 points of acid damage.
Ow. Oh. Hellish rebuke.
There is a fire that bursts from your foot, an unreasonably large burst of fire that just ripples away. It chars this moss in a 15-foot cone away from you. And though this moss doesn't have a mouth, it's the same way that if you expose a bug to flame, the air escaping from the carapace kind of lets this as it does, and it shrinks back in a way, and Billy, you are freed from this moss. But you imagine you do not want to touch it again.
I think that's my favorite use of that spell.
That was a great use.
I have to cast it at 4th level.
Worth
That is
it.
a 15-foot cone of flame behind it.
Really keeps walking.
Billy keeps walking. Billy, make a strength check.
15 feet!
Yeah, 15 feet later.
15 feet later, make a strength check. This is
Now, okay, no, when I get to the 15
Yeah, oh,
feet,
yeah.
is there a clear path 20 feet in front of me?
Give me 1 second here. 25 feet away, there is a clear spot that you could make it to. Through that, there's more of this moss, probably for another 40 feet beyond that, until it begins to gradually die down, and you can see maybe 60 feet away, the cavern again becomes much more clear, and you see living crabs scuttling around over there.
Grabs onto Valis's like knee and is
I grab her hand.
So, with this levitation chain, with a little bit of flight, you make your way across, and as a bat perched across a leaf.
As a bat right now, I'm just contemplating like the differences of perception and how I'm perceiving as a bat versus how I perceive as Ori. And
Certainly.
And the implications of it.
Free action.
Certainly here you actually hear much more than you see.
Yeah.
You can hear the sound of the waves crashing on the outside, each wave just a little bit louder than the one that preceded it. The tide is coming in steadily. You can hear the drip of water as it comes down the side of the cave. You can hear the scuttling of the crabs in the distance, and off somewhere in the distance you hear a very loud and heavy pincer closing. You can hear a lot in this space.
There's a big crab. Squeak, squeak, squeak.
As I carry Billy across, I lay on hands and heal her a little bit for 10 hit points.
Excellent. Rejuvenating elements left behind or destroyed by that moss. But you make your way across to the other side, not elegantly.
What were you gonna
I
say?
kinda-
Basically acting.
I just kind of hope
guard
that someone
that
can
for
see
the
this
next-
weird train that we have. Like, the amount of people just like subtly watching us. I hope someone kind of tunes into the Wandering Hearts channel for like a couple minutes and is like, "The fuck's happening
One of
today?"
you has actually precluded that possibility, unfortunately, or made it a lot harder. But
The
trust me,
octopus can see it.
Worn off by now, though.
there have been some moments of like, I wonder what the Wandering Hearts are doing. Oh my. For sure.
Guaranteed hear some Saw Billy just like swear at Moss.
But yeah, no problem. You make your way through, some more elegantly than others, to the space where it opens up, where the moss grows a little bit less dense, and here there are living crabs kind of scuttling about here and there. Or you see, after another 10 minutes of kind of floating through, where the cave is growing a little bit bigger, the water level is actually going down a little bit here, weirdly enough. Though the slope is going up, I guess that does make sense. You get to a place where there is entirely caved in this tunnel. There's no way through. And the leaf kind of goes to the edge where the cave-in is and just wrinkles up as it begins to push into this space.
Does it seem like the thing is structural enough that we can like remove rubble and there'll still be a cave?
Make an investigation check.
It's supposed to be able to get us through safely without being. This isn't getting through.
6.
With a 6, you look at this and, yep, this is rock.
Is there a way,
What that might mean, hard to tell.
as a bat, is there a way around this rubble? Like, the leaf can't make it through, so we should be able to pass through some way.
Billy's gonna try and see if there's any like way to see past the
Make an
cave.
investigation check.
I was told by Bill. Oh, sorry. You gonna say something?
Just as a bat, there's not a...
I can still perceive and stuff.
Yeah, you can make a perception check. With the leaf not being able to go through, that doesn't necessarily mean that there's a space for you to all pass through.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
But you can make a perception check.
for us to continue following this leaf, we need to get through some way.
Yes.
And if it can't get
Is
through,
there a different
we
check?
have to... No.
Okay, yeah.
I just touched the wall because Billy told me to touch things if I think they're an illusion.
You touch it, and it's not an illusion. Or it's one of the best ones you can.
It's rock, all right.
It is certainly rock.
I got a 10.
Yeah.
I'm very confident about this being an impediment.
Okay.
Sorry, was it a perception or investigation?
Your choice.
That's gonna be a 31 perception.
With your perception, there is something very different to the way that this rock resonates. Especially having passed through the mirror coral just moments before, you are listening for this, and you can hear that there is something much more hollow. Less hollow, more of a different material. You see Valis just running their hands along what is not rock.
It's a crab.
It is a crab. This entire sort of cavern is
It's a
clogged
boulder crab.
by a boulder-back clacker crab.
I don't.
And it was a little harder to see because the eye stalks have been severed. It is an old crab that has been wounded in combat.
Oh, I've got
But
a sailor shirt on it.
it is currently the pincers tucked into the body, the shell down, but the coral and rock that has grown on top has clogged this entire cave on top of it. This creature must be 12 feet wide, and it must weigh close to 600 pounds.
God.
And Valis is just rubbing its face.
Does someone tell me that it's a crab?
Squeak, squeak,
I think
squeak.
Minka, once it clicks for her that it's a crab, she's like, it's one of the boulderback
Or he's
crabs.
like,
Oh.
stop rubbing it, it's a crab, but it's just squeak, squeak.
I cast Speak with Animal.
You cast Speak with Animal across this
And then you
space.
hear, stupid fucking, oh god, I can't
Touching me
fucking
without
say it.
consent.
It's a crab!
And in this place, very little shifts. Like you do all of a sudden hear this wall breathing. And you are just more aware of the fact that this is certainly an entity. It seems to sleep. It doesn't snore necessarily, but there is just a soft sort of burbling that is happening from the inside.
Oh my gosh, it's really annoying that I can't talk to everyone.
It's asleep.
Oh, hey, Valis.
I can try to talk to it, but... Oh! Ori!
Amazing.
Is that you, Ori? I was wondering where you went. I just thought you were hiding.
I'm a bat.
Hey, Ori's a bat.
I'm imagining you taking the wing, you're like, I'm a bat.
Or he's like the tiniest little fruit bat on like the underside of the leaf,
Oh, yeah, fantastic.
smushed up against the rock.
Yeah, and the most awkward, like, the lady's hitting into it, and, like,
Just,
or
like,
to be, like, bashed
Lounging
against the
as much as a bat can lounge as the leaf is like curling up into the chair.
No, I'm picturing the bat from Anastasia.
Ferngully bat.
What do crabs eat?
So many things.
Oh, they're crabs.
Anything they can get with their pincers, really. They are mostly carnivorous, though. I believe some of them are also herbivorous as well.
Turtle eggs.
Oh, yeah, true.
Okay.
They just kind of, whatever they can kind of fit into their little mouths. Sometimes they'll, like, comb through sand,
Can
and it
I
looks like they're
talk
eating
to
sand, but they're
this
eating
thing?
little microorganisms in the sand.
Do I speak with
You do not.
I would like to... Have we used the plate today?
You have not?
Alright, I would like to ask Alina for the plate from the bag, and I'm gonna get a feast, and it's gonna include stuff for us to eat, but then also some of the stuff that Alina just mentioned for a crab to eat. In case it's hungry, I don't want it to eat us. So that's really the plan. That there'll be lots of turtle eggs.
Turtle eggs.
There'll be some cooked crabs, I guess, because they eat other crabs.
Can you ask if they eat bats?
Yes.
Because I don't want to be a bat if they're gonna eat me.
Okay. There's some cooked bats that came out just so that look more appetizing than Ori.
Remind me, when Valis casts Speak with Animal, does it sound to us like Valis is speaking animal, or Valis is just speaking...
Valis is just speaking normal.
Okay.
And then the animal, you don't hear anything from the animal's perspective,
Right.
so it's like, it's a little disjointed for sure.
I grab a peach too and I hand it over to Ori the bat. You just said you're a fruit bat, right? I don't know.
It's like the size of you.
Smushed between a fucking leaf and a peach.
And then I'm gonna...
the giant peach!
There are evil aunties and everything!
And then I'm going to try to gently wake up the crab by, like, you know...
I hope it doesn't like
Excuse
peaches.
me.
It just made me
Majestic boulder bash crab.
And make it an advantage.
Do you know those like videos you see of like people holding things in front of a cat's nose while it's sleeping until
Yeah.
it wakes up and eats
like
it?
a little piece of cheese or...
You said animal handling?
Yeah.
18.
18. With an 18, you gently tap this crab, now that you know that it is in fact a crab, and shaking it a little bit, the center of this boulder suddenly begins to fizz and foam. This little bit of foam just kind of from here, and then you see these eye stalks just protrude. There's no eyes attached to them. This creature is blind. And in thinking about the prompt that you gave to this leaf, you wish to not be perceived or seen by creatures that might do you harm. This creature can certainly not see you. In this moment, though, you try to wake this up, and the eye stalks kind of turn as if it is trying to look around, and then out loud, all of you just hear more burbling. But for you, Valis, you hear this entity say, "Who's there? Who's in my cavern? No, go back. It is not time yet."
What kind of crab was it in? A boulder...
Minka had told you, I believe, that this is a boulderback clacker crab.
Greetings, boulderback clacker crab. We are just some adventurers passing through. We would like to pass through this tunnel. Why? We have some food for you as well to eat if you are hungry.
Do you offer the food?
Yeah.
Okay. So you offer this food forward, and instantly the demeanor of this creature changes. It had warned you. It is not time yet. Go back. But then it goes, food. And you can hear, like, the bubbling gets more intense. You see suddenly these legs kind of curling out. And as the legs curl out, little streams of water begin to spring out from the other side of it. Just jettisoning it up. You can see out loud to you, Valis, it says, "Give me food!" And it lunges forwards and jettisons past you as the water fires it down the tunnel. And can everybody make a strength saving throw? The tunnel beyond is steeply up, and the reason the water had not flown down was the boulderback clacker crab blocking the tide. But in this moment, you have unleashed the tide down.
Go back.
Oh boy.
It's not time.
I gotta check this bat stats.
11.
That is a failure.
Oh boy, bats aren't very
Natural
strong.
20.
Oh, Minka succeeding.
I'm so excited
Oh
by
my
seeing
God.
this crab. The horrible water.
No, it's not just any crab.
Ori?
It's a rock crab.
It's 4 right now.
Because I'm the best time.
I'm going to put you on that list.
18.
18 is a success.
Nice.
18 also.
18 is a success.
Everyone gets +4, by the way. I'm
Oh
assuming.
great.
And Ori,
Zero.
the two of you and this crab fail. You are knocked prone, and Billy, what did you roll?
An 11.
An 11. You fail by 7. What did you roll?
I think
Minka?
24.
A 20. Wait, who was the person that failed? Ori, you rolled a 2.
it's actually with the +4 from Valis, it's a 6.
It's a 6. Amazing.
But yeah, I mean, I revert.
Has already
When I
deceased.
take damage, I'm gonna revert because I have 4 hit points.
So
As a bat,
we're going to
so.
do a couple of things all at once. I did not expect a failure on that magnitude.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fucking bat.
For you, you rolled an 11.
Bat versus ocean.
Failing this by 6 means that you are fired 30 feet back down through this cavern.
Fuck.
And as you are just slammed over, you are slammed into the very edges of the Cling Moss Coral Tunnel. And can you make a strength check, please, at disadvantage, as you are currently underwater as this rolls over top. You can see this crab just bounce and continue to get carried away down this current.
I've rolled 2 good dice. 17.
And with the
I had
17,
0
you
dice.
use the momentum of the water to rip yourself free of this clinging moss, and you kind of float now, carried, and are able to stop yourselves only 30 feet down this tunnel. And you hear this as Ori is carried.
Can I attempt to grab Ori?
Let me do some math real quick.
Okay.
I think that Ori just got sent back to the start of the level.
Ori is
You got
not
to
so
send to
far
the
back.
fucking Shadow Realm.
So Ori, first, make a strength
In
saving
the
throw.
ocean.
Okay, am I taking any damage?
We're
from
about to
this?
find out.
'Cause-
So far,
oh my
you have
God.
not.
Oh
Found
my
his
God.
flute.
So another strength saving throw.
Another strength saving throw. Or sorry, this is a strength check
Okay, strength check. As a bat still.
as a bat. still.
Okay, hold on. Let me switch up to the
Hi.
bat stat. It's still
stat.
a -4. Is that cocked? That looks kind of cocked.
I don't think it is. Oh,
Oh, come on. That's a little better. There we go. That's a 14.
That is a failure. You
Oh,
are
+4?
captured.
Oh, wait. I'm so
I think
far
also- I
away.
think
You
you're
are
far away now.
captured by this moss. You take 8 points of acid damage.
Oh, and I'm back into
And
it.
you
I'm no longer a
into
bat.
Ori as you are just
And I
jettisoned
probably take...
95 feet down this cavern with a
Piece in your mouth.
like a pistol down the space. You slam through the clay moss portal tunnel, all the way through and beyond, and right into the Crimson Fire coral snake nest. And Ori, as you rush across this with water, can you make a con save, please? As you are slammed into this tunnel, these snakes stream out almost like worms erupting from this nest, and you get bit dozens of times.
Okay. Is this a time where I could use that charm that I got at the Awesome Lodge?
No.
Okay.
Is that just for like intelligence checks or
It
something?
is, I believe, it's
is it intelligence
very
or-
specific intelligence checks, yes.
Yeah, like knowledge checks.
Relating to a specific field, yes.
15.
A 15 is a failure, and in this moment, Ori, you are taking an additional, from these dozens of bites, an additional 18 points of fire damage, plus,
Fire damage.
plus an additional 22 points of poison damage. As you are bit time and time again, they bite you and bite you and bite you, and you are carried straight into this nest. As this happens, make a dexterity saving throw, because the nest itself breaks, and the water threatens to carry you down and submerge you in these electric jellyfish.
He's gonna be mad.
Oh, that's good. 29.
With a 29, you grab an element of the jagged broken coral and you catch yourself. The water rushes. You feel your arm pull taut, but you just cling on. You feel zaps at your toes and at your heels as you pull yourself out of the rush. And you are able to stop yourself.
Somehow I've caused this. What
The
did I do?
water stabilizes slightly as Crusher the crab is just ricocheted down this canyon. And you can now see up this tunnel, there is daylight over the rushing water coming up, but the water level is rising rapidly. The water is rushing down and forms difficult terrain for this roughly 80-foot climb to what you can see is now the beach. And Ori, in the distance, you do see elements of a castle high above you.
Where is the leaf?
The leaf is just kind of floating up this element.
Did it not get washed back?
It's magical!
Fuck!
Following the lead.
Follow the leaf.
I get fucking dry myself off, I guess, and dust myself off and make my way back to catch up now.
Is anybody concerned about the plate?
The plate.
We're flying
Yeah.
still.
What plate?
The plate of
food
food
plate.
plate?
Oh,
Where-
we would have grabbed it.
Make a perception check.
What? Where did the plate
You just
go?
offer the plate to the crab when this water rushed through.
Oh, I assume we took the. Maybe I don't know how the
Where's the
thing
crab?
works. I think we just take the food out of the plate, and then we put the
The
plate
food
away.
kind of like unravels this big sort of like feast as it goes. So it would be a lot of like lifting and moving to move it all off, unless you're literally just conveyor belt dumping it on the ground as it appears. Which you could do. It just hasn't been what you've done in the past. Or else several of those nice scenes of nice
Honest-
dinners.
Not gonna lie, that's how I've been imagining it
Yeah.
this whole time.
Yeah, like it's just like.
Bring stuff out.
And then-
No, no, no. Very
Oh,
much
I
like,
have it.
Okay.
I was
Throwing
like,
down
doing
the
it.
yeah.
Oh no, I've
All right,
imagining
Joe.
it just
Actually, like
upending it.
this.
Another
and you
natural
open it.
20 for perception check on the plate.
Very nice.
Nice.
You can see it is wedged into the wall deep. Like it has almost gone all the way in, and you could barely see the glint of metal, but you see it. And Valis walking over, kind of wading through the water, and you can recognize this water is difficult terrain. It will be exhausting, potentially, to climb out of this cave. But you grab this dish and you pull it free. You regain the dish.
How?
Alright. Am I still now like levitating? Is this levitate spell still active?
I didn't take any damage. So, I mean, yeah, I
There you
can.
go.
If you ask me to stop concentrating on it, I will.
If it seems exhausting to wade through the water, I'll see if like Ori and or Billy want like a hand to like levitate above the water to the part where I don't know if it makes it easier. I can't.
Billy and
Picture in my
Nora
head.
getting a little help.
Billy is, yes.
Is it dim light or is it?
It's dim light the first 10 or so feet, and then as you get closer to the outside, it gets a little bit brighter. So you're not 100% sure how long it will function, but no further than maybe like 20 feet.
How climbable is it?
It's tough. It's going to be difficult terrain, and you would imagine it will almost certainly provoke some kind of an exhaustion check to make it all the way to the top.
Yeah, I would need help.
Okay. So once more, you create a daisy chain of
I
adventures.
swallowed a lot of salt water there.
And you decide to keep Ori at the bottom of this chain. You fly up.
Off the edge.
The per volume of a bat's stomach.
You make your way up and out of this coral cavern, having traveled roughly 6 hours to get through this space. If you had been maybe an hour later, you would have been traveling underwater at this point. But you can now see you can hear the ocean air as it howls down this tunnel by you. You can hear the thrashing seawater that pours in with the tide that is now almost forming whitewater rapids in the space beneath you. You can hear the ocean a lot better. You can also smell smoke and fire infused into it. The beach that you have struggled onto is composed of boulders and stones tossed smooth by the waves, now mostly submerged as the tide races in. Pretty soon, as you kind of emerge out and all get your bearings, you can see that there will probably be no place left to stand as the tide continues to come in. The leaf just swishes straight and begins to proceed along the beach and in the direction of this channel. The leaf seems intent on crossing straight across the water towards a heavily wooded shore about a half a mile across a relatively narrow channel.
Is the channel still walkable?
No, this is deep water, and worse than that, howling above this, the source of this increase in wind, this storm. And all over top, thunder rolls echoing off the canyon above. Above, over top, you can also hear just faintly as the wind blows the right way, draconic conversation. There are soldiers, maybe 170 feet up ahead, over these bluffs and cliffs, arming this castle in the distance. You are beneath Glacial Dunetha's war camp, and that is something to bear in mind as well.
So we use that magic now for swimming or whatever.
Is this Harbor Watch that we're underneath?
That is the place that you are currently underneath.
So, we have options. Option 1 is I just cast water breathing and we just kind of swim. Option 2 is still crabs.
Option 2 is always crabs.
I feel like option 1 is much more preferable in case something attacks us. We literally watched crabs get absolutely...
Well, they can both breathe underwater and swim. They got little pincers.
Right, but crabs get absolutely eviscerated by octopods.
We could be big ones.
We could be really big crabs.
I would like to just be
Which is
regular.
We're as disguised as we need to be.
I
take
just
care of those
swallowed
animals, just go.
about
Water breathing
6 gallons of
would last
salt
longest.
water as a
Let's
bat.
do the longer one.
Okay, we need to wait about 10 minutes as I cast it.
Anybody doing anything for these 10
Does
minutes?
anyone...
Does the
Yeah.
leaf just kind of hover at a point when we don't follow it?
Yeah, about 20 feet ahead of you, it just stops.
Is that your casting?
Did I cast my steed last session? I can't
You-
remember. Okay.
You suggested you might, and then you ended up not.
Okay. All right.
I would just be on.
Would it be helpful for me to
Watch
also summon a
in
flying
case
steed
anything
as well, or would that
comes
just make us
around.
more conspicuous?
I think it'd be weird if the guards looked down and suddenly saw a flying steed across the water.
I think you're right.
30.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Ori, as you're keeping watch, as Minka begins this ritual, there is a little bit of a moment where you see near Billy a twinkle in the air, like a small sphere kind of blipping into life and then instantly just kind of dissipating. But aside from that, you see up on the cliffs overhead, there is a patrol of Dragonborn and Bugbear soldiers that moves 100, close to 200 feet above you, and they pay no notice to you now down in a place that is generally inaccessible to most. Nobody really paying attention here. And you can see on the beach below, too, there is just like broken bits of wood, there is trash and things that people just throw over the edge here, expecting to be washed out to sea. But you don't see anything perceiving you in this moment.
Is levitate is concentration?
Does
What
So are you
that
able to
glint
cast
have
water breathing
been?
while...
How much
Make it arcana
longer?
Concentration.
have on levitate.
It will only so 2.
I guess
Meditation only
more
lasts about
insight,
2
like,
hours. I believe.
I'm just wondering, can Valis
based on
and I
what
lock
yeah,
short
we
rest
understand
while we're
Billy
hanging out? Oh no, it's an hour.
in a physical sense, like it wasn't sunlight glinting
Unless
off
we're in
or
a ring.
something,
Correct.
or stuff like that.
Yeah, you know that.
Okay.
Does
So,
anyone
yeah,
look
I guess
hurt
then-
besides Ori?
Looking around, after healing Billy a little bit, no, not really.
I actually rolled pretty well on this one. 22 Arcana.
With a 22, you just saw somebody attempt to peek in on Billy magically. You saw an attempt at scrying, but for some reason it failed.
Someone's trying to watch us.
Could be Hearsome. He does that sometimes.
No, someone was just scrying.
Yeah, that's
Could
what
be
Hearsome
Hearsome.
does.
Did it feel like a hearsome scry?
No.
Also,
That's not
I
Hearsome.
don't think here's some scries.
It's not. It wasn't hearsome.
Either way, this is one of those parts where we need to move quick. Quick. Doesn't matter.
Diamond dust.
who's watching. Keep going.
You non-detection yourself again, just in case. For you, Minka, you cast this spell. And as part of casting it, or perhaps just for fun, can you make a wisdom saving throw, please?
Ooh. Sure can.
Just for
It's
funsies.
for fun. It's for flavor.
Am I next to Valis?
Always.
Yes.
It's okay. This is my one of my high ones. Saving throw. 22.
Okay. Ori,
Big
with
cat.
your perception check, you see behind Minka this little, almost invisible sphere just appear. And to the other side of Minka. To the other side. Somebody is peeking in on Minka.
Someone is watching you, Minka. You're being scryed on right now.
Are you going to cast non-detection? You cast non-detection on Minka, and in that moment, you can just barely hear, as your hand impacts your Janazi friend, the sound of somebody that you know. As they say, "It's the blue one. Trudy, lock her away!" And as you cast non-detection, you just save Minka, perhaps from a much more elaborate ruse. As that scrying spell just blinks out and ends.
We need more diamond dust.
Do we know who that was?
It was the hags.
That's why
Oh.
we keep moving.
Well, I mean, we can.
They
breathe
know
underwater
we're
now.
coming.
Yes.
Minka says as they finish the last element of their spell and cast water walk on all of you. Or
No,
water breathing.
Water breathing, not walk, because water walk would still be a huge challenge.
It
at
actually
this
seems
point.
worse than
Did your balance?
Roll for the achievement.
We're just like diving and being launched out.
I remember in World of Warcraft there was an
Dodging
achievement where
lightning.
you had to like walk and then bow to this like NPC you had to fight later, and then you had to walk and then bow, and it was like a whole
Oh, I
thing.
did that recently.
Oh, God.
I know exactly
I
what you're
hated
talking
that.
about.
Anyways, you begin to walk and then emote bow. As you make your way. You can follow the leaf now to the coast, and if you wish, you can submerge yourself into these waves. They are relatively intense, much more impactful than the waves that many of you are used to, but you make your way in.
And under the water, it should be relatively calm.
They're all swimming. I'm walking. I'm wearing heavy armor, so I'm just walking on the water.
Clang! Clang! You are the Big Daddy in Bioshock.
Yeah,
Stop
exactly.
the
Bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
All of you walk across the bottom of the ocean, and though it is probably no later than about 4 p.m., it is dark overhead. And here, the elements of light are just crackles of lightning and little bits of a diffused gray light that comes in through the water overhead. As you begin to walk here underwater, doing nothing to make this any faster, do any of you have swim speeds?
Nope.
Could have if we were crabs.
So Pirates of the Caribbean, you guys are just kind of doing
Yep.
the moonwalk through. It is slow going.
Is it half our walking speed?
It does.
I would just
And
keep looking at her and be like,
I am on Team Crab, by the way.
It
but
does
I don't think
mean-
everyone is.
this
One person
normal,
was not.
like,
I mean,
1.5
my speed is
hour.
the same.
This would normally be about an hour and a half to walk. It will now take you 3 hours to do so. But you are seeing the effects of the storm overhead, not feeling them. And that is a net positive.
Is the leaf up above?
The leaf is up above. And you can actually see the little shadow more than anything.
I
as
would
it
try to
tracks.
maintain sight of the leaf as
For
we're going
you,
there.
with a keen eye, easy enough. Now, who's leading your group across this space?
Probably Ori.
Ori,
Yeah.
roll a d6.
Okay. Let's do the thing that it's gonna be 4.
This arcane storm rages overhead. And as you
Lightning bolt.
cross over, there is a moment where the swirling stops. You look up and you can see clearer than ever before this leaf. You see for just a moment a shaft of sunlight that drops down as perhaps you sort of sit within this eye. Minka, Valis, in this moment, the two of you feel your connection to any sort of divine power disappear.
Are we still breathing?
You are still breathing.
Okay.
That now, is that a concentration spell?
It's not.
Okay.
Once it's active for the next 24 hours.
In this moment, very good.
Yeah.
Because you would not be holding on to that concentration.
That's
Eye of the storm, big eye in the sky. Is there a connection to this?
Probably.
You guys hear Valis say, "Hold on."
Are we being viewed by this eye of the storm right now?
Guessing we can't talk to each other because we're on the water, right?
You can.
It's
Oh, we
just
can?
muffled.
Water, yeah, it's just muffled. Water, I mean, actually, it carries longer than normal speech would. It's just harder to hear. But yeah, you can definitely talk.
It's
weird,
more
I
muffled,
can't
but
cast
sound
any-
actually travels faster through solids.
I feel like my magic has left me here.
oh, I also feel weird, which is why we keep going.
Yeah, we should leave quickly as Billy moves.
I'm
real
still
slow.
walking.
Yeah. Every step that you take kicks up a cloud of silt behind you, and so if you turn and look, your visibility is near zero. There is really nowhere to go but forward. And this feeling of being powerless and watched follows you for the next hour.
I hate it.
Though the scrying did not work on Billy and only briefly worked on Minka, it's hard to feel very successful in this moment.
To be fair, they wouldn't see the blue unless they have true sight.
That's
They've
fair.
seen none. So they would have been like, who is this weirdo?
Why are our troops under the ocean? Who are these fucks?
Look at these fucking overachievers
Scry on
over
my
here.
niece.
Oh, man, the implications there are wild. But absolutely, you are walking under the spiral eye, and as you walk for the next hour, it is uneasy going. Is there anything that any of you are doing for this first leg of your journey?
Just following the leaf.
I look around for a flute.
Make a perception.
If the coast or if the tidal currents brought it all the way here, that would be
If you roll a natural
wild.
20 and
I
find this
did
flute,
not, but I did roll a 22.
With the 22, you see no evidence of the flute. I will tell you guys, I know exactly where the flute is. And there is a non-zero chance in one of the one-shots that we run that you will come across this
I was
one.
gonna say,
Ori
it's
won't
not
be the
anywhere
one.
near us.
It's not the one for
Actually, it
Ori.
could come up in Campaign 3, potentially.
For Ori. Never
So-
again.
Okay, new plan. Matt's new character receives the flute.
I did suggest that Matt play a bard in the next game.
And then we
Oh yeah,
toss
Bard
it
who
for
hates
campaign
Ori
for
because
that
he killed
character.
the person.
I like the idea that you're a bard.
Infiltration that we
You're a
had.
bard who's like, I found this cool flute on the beach.
And now Matt plays the bard block.
Please!
Make it happen, Joe.
And then at the end of campaign 3, you lose the flute, and your barbarian finds it on a beach the next campaign and just hits people with it.
And the conceit of that one is that the barbarian is actually Gunter.
No.
You travel across this channel underneath. You see very few signs of life, if any. And Ori, can you roll a d6 for the second leg of this journey?
Sure.
That needs to be our title card.
CX.
The coloring on that is phenomenal.
Incredible.
With a 6.
Sorry.
Interesting.
Oh, great. I love when Joe says interesting.
Yeah,
That's
right?
weird all the
Nice.
time.
Only good things happen when Joe says interesting.
Up above, the sun fades. For you, Valis, and you, Minka, suddenly you feel your connection to your magic restored. And that feels good for a time.
Yeah.
But the sunlight goes away, and with it the warmth, and the water grows cold, and the feeling of this tide increases as you reach the deepest part of the channel. You see overhead the sky grows significantly darker. At one point, almost as if a seam of black opens up in the clouds. Otherworldly darkness that is far above and beyond anything that you might see in a natural storm. You see little shadows flittering across the surface of the water, and you have seen entities like this before. Within the dangerous areas and the shattered fields, you had seen these kind of entities, and now floating up above, kind of on the surface of the water, they seem to be pouring from this crack, and then drifting off and along the water's edge in different directions. You see some of these human-sized, some a little bit larger, but none of them seem to take note of you, and as the wind currents kind of reverse, many of them just blown out to sea.
Wait,
You
what
imagine.
is this that we've seen before?
Shadows.
Shadows.
But underneath the waves, none of these take any note of you. And Ori, can you roll one final d6 for the last leg of your journey?
That feels like it's kind of cocked, right? It landed on a coaster and a car.
That looks good to me.
The only thing about this screen, which is fantastic, is that I see nothing in front of you or Alana.
Yeah, that's a 3.
It's good because it's chaotic over here.
That's a 3. Okay. Up above, this line of darkness gradually becomes gray, fading back amongst the clouds, and you see this rain of shadows slowly lets up. The storm is still significant, but you can feel underneath the sand begins to give way to rock once more, and you can feel that you are slowly making your way up this element of an embankment towards this far coast. You imagine there is a misty woodland somewhere up above you, but in this moment, a storm begins overhead, and it is not rain that strikes the water above you, but hail. Flaming hail. And as it strikes this water, it bursts in these big pockets above into these explosive elements, almost like it ignites the water in little pockets. If you were walking across the surface, you would be walking through a rain of explosive fire, essentially.
Little comets.
And each place where it touches the sea, even the surface of the ocean boils briefly in 10-foot patches, becoming these just pockets of vapor that just up into the sky. But you are all beneath the waves, and you can walk underneath with no trouble, though the water is intensely hot for the last leg of your journey.
Was that was the fire rain or fire hail as a result of the storm, or was it as a result of like a dragon burst or the volcano?
Or dragons
Erupting.
pooping over us.
Could be any of those things. You didn't see a dragon, you didn't hear a volcano or feel the shaking of the earth, which
Or
would
could it
suggest
have-
perhaps the storm or something over top.
Or yeah, could it have also been
But here
a spell?
in the cloudy water, beneath the surface, beneath the clouds, in the storm, not enough data or ability to really even visualize what might be happening above.
When you said these are hail, is it like actually like, are they like rocks or are they like
You
ice?
see they plunge through, and in the brief moment as the water begins to boil, a little icy stone before it just is just boiled and sublimated away.
Okay, so like it's not leaving like a rock behind. It's
No.
just okay.
So it is like
Literal hail, yes.
okay.
But you make your way through this, and after spending close to 3 hours beneath this churning water, you make your way to the other side.
That's a pretty good water breathing.
Yeah, that's a great water breathing.
I saw that our proximity to the ocean and was like, there's a non-zero chance we're gonna be walking somewhere or
good.
just swimming.
And the leaf provides.
It genuinely does. The leaf is the first thing to emerge from the water, kind of bursting out and into the beach. You can see there is elements of woodland shrouded in a heavy, very Feywild feeling mist that clings almost like a cloth to the tops of these trees here, and these trees not burned, and these trees almost certainly not natural. The bark is dark and twisted and gnarled. The limbs are longer than many other trees, almost seeming to reach out towards you with these bare twigs that almost seem like fingers. Through this space, many of these either short and stubby yew bushes or tall and bending weeping willow-like plants. There are bits of moss and toadstools that grow as tall as you might. For those of you, many of you have been to the Feywild, this feels very much like you are on the edge of a place like that. But this place is dark. And for all of you, this place feels immensely dangerous. But for none of you more than you, Billy. Billy, you have been trying for a long time to avoid this. But you have come home. And because it is 9:40, and a good place for us to take a break, this is where we're going to end for the evening, as you have made your way almost to the house that walks. Thank you for joining us for this session of D&D. We will be back in 2 weeks. So very sad to be leaving right at this particular moment. But we will be back in 2 weeks. Please
3
stay.
weeks, right?
3 weeks.
There's 2 weeks coming up where we will not be here.
Yes.
We'll be back the week after.
Yes, that is correct. What Tina said is correct.
We will be gone for 2 weeks and back in 3.
Yes, thank you. That is the correct math. Please stay safe. It is wild out there. We'll see you later. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.